Wow.
They were used to treat
I'm so glad
doctor.
we live in the time we are now, and that's saying
Also,
something.
Shub.
You go to the doctor
Realize.
being like, I'm sick again. I need medicine.
Sometimes
I
I
need my
get nervous
treatment,
on the
doc.
airplane.
That is exactly what I was thinking, Tony.
Yay.
But yes.
Who needs original humor?
Exactly.
Wait,
When
Tony,
you can just-
Tony, what did you say?
Sometimes I get nervous on airplanes.
Sometimes
You gotta
I get
go.
nervous.
I need
On
an
airplanes.
orgasm to calm me down. It's doctor prescribed.
Huh. But yes, oh my god. Do we
I have
play
a
this like
doctor's note.
almost 2 weeks ago? It's so nice to be back in Allatour. It's gonna be so nice. But yes, and here we are, cutting in. I am so mad that we started streaming directly after we ended the conversation regarding doctor-prescribed orgasms. I would have loved to immortalize that.
We
caught the
exists
tail
in
end
our
of it.
hearts.
Yeah. In our hearts.
In our hearts, in
And
minds.
our vaginas.
In our...
Exactly. pH is
How
off
many-
the charts.
Quick question again. How many children are there in the LaCroix?
9.
9.
Fuck, dude.
That's so many.
Well,
That's as
wait,
many children as there are
wait.
hit
Let
points
the
at
woman
that.
rest!
Well, hold on, Drew, because you established that like anyone can get pregnant regardless of sex or gender. Does that mean that those who identify
Brains?
as men can get pregnant?
So-
could
so-
Is there embreg? Is there canonical embreg in this game? I have to know.
Dear
I
God.
would also like to know, just because I'd like to know whether or not this is going to be a surprise, or if we can get pregnant or not.
Okay, so here's the way that I built this fucking soap opera of a country. So basically, like, if it is, and I'm just gonna use like scientific terms, if it is like, if you're trying to have a baby and it's male to female, it can work in the traditional way of like 9-month gestation then birth. If people aren't into that, it can be like, because like I've heard tale of like some people who are like, yeah, like the process of like, you know, it bonds you like with the child basically. If you're into that, totally cool, no problem. If people are like, no, not even slightly, a stork will come and bring a baby to you and then leave, and that works for women loving women and men loving men and and kind of like any classification and any classification. So
You're dodging the question.
What?
Did Duke LaCroix carry any of his children?
did Duke? But no. Like, no. There's
Roll for it.
There's no the roll for what? What am I
Is he a
Roll for
seahorse? Is he a
embreg.
seahorse? Answer the question, Drew.
Okay.
Roll for
You're
embreg.
either gonna get a no, or I'm gonna tell you no and
No,
lie.
just tell me. Don't roll. Just tell me so I can move on.
No, I gotta roll. Hold on.
Also, does Blurso know whether or not he
Has Verso had the talk yet?
like,
At
can
age
an
40?
NPC just like make eye contact with me good enough in the next session I find out I'm pregnant? Is that something that can happen here? Or what are the rules? I gotta know.
Imagine if you just look at someone too hard and the next day you have a baby. Just
Terrible.
Wait. Does that mean that the condoms Hathor has with her at all times are useless here?
no. Well, it is the intention of the people usually.
Okay, cool. Does it have to be both or just one need to get pregnant?
I think that if we logic this out, we're gonna break it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know
Oh,
if we
we're already
should.
there.
I apologize for asking.
Never apologize for the pursuit of knowledge.
I had to know because I'm like,
Noble
like
pursuit.
God, imagine being the Duchess LaCroix and going through pregnancy 9 times, and going through childbirth 9 times.
Let the woman rest.
Fastest vagina in the West.
She did get a break. She there was a break in between some of the kids.
When?
LaCroix
I
lore.
don't believe in it.
Is that lore? Is that
LaCroix.
lore relevant? I don't know if it is.
I don't think it's lore relevant. It's just something that that I know.
Okay, no problem.
That may never come up, so maybe I'll tell y'all one day.
It is 8:40 and we have not started.
I'm so sorry.
No, this
okay.
is not your fault. I'm just making an observation.
There was delay in dinner.
I'm
Also,
having a wonderful time. I kind of
Yeah,
like,
no.
pre-game, just talk about how things are going.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna go down the people real quick. Kate, what's Sherry's AC real quick?
16.
16,
Nice.
and then
Thank you.
wait, sorry, and then Darby.
18.
Nice.
16, 18, and then Moss.
16.
16. Okay, got it. This is the first level.
You didn't ask Tony.
No, I already have it because he sent his like
What
little
is
screenshot
Tony's?
to the
What
player.
what is it?
character. It's
What
14.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
What are your hit points, Tony?
And
Kane, whole hit
Level 1,
points.
baby.
Level 1.
This-
Nothing
thi-
can go wrong.
This should not go too poorly. Oh,
You say that now.
that is true. Hey, I contingencies on contingencies. Where is? And then I also need
I've
this
got a bad
just in
feeling
case.
about that.
Also, what am I rolling for Duke George's
Don't. It's fine. The moment's
Never
gone.
mind, never
Never
mind.
mind. I don't need to know.
seahorse? Anyway,
Yours.
Well, like, see whore.
hey,
Oh.
yo. With all of that, any other announcements before we get started? No. Okay. Well, I almost forgot. Number one, shout out to our friend Cheyenne who made this wonderful map.
Thank
We're gonna try it out.
you.
We love the art style. We love how it looks. Vacan
It's
as coming
beautiful.
together. Oh yeah, incredible detail. Just looks absolutely great, and we cannot wait to use it. Be on the lookout for more stuff from her in the future, and also just the general. Every time we do this, thank you so much for watching. If you are watching, we deeply appreciate you, and we hope you're having just as good a time as we are having playing. And yes, but with all of that, we all want to play some D&D.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, and yes. Then as per usual, one deep cleansing breath, and then we hop right into the first combat of Allatour. Sound good?
Yes.
Then please join me. Everything after the breath is canon. And the music is going to be a little bit stranger for this combat, as it's going to be a little bit more slapstick than usual, honestly. As we cut back into Allatour, two of these cockatrices, having just snatched up the boys that were playing with their statuified forms, their little tokens, and having now fleeing into the town of Vacan. The LaCroix envoy just having arrived. We have Cherie, the Honorable Viscount Cass, we have Blurso, and we have Hathor, all witnessing this kidnapping, and combat has begun as these birds begin to fly. Cass, you are first act. What are you gonna do?
Okay, I am going to run up. Is each of these squares is 5 feet?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I am going to run up to Flummox, and I am going to attack him with my rapier.
Running up to Flummox and attacking with the rapier. Excellent. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
That is a 14 to hit.
14 is going to hit, yes.
Thank God. Okay, that is. Unless I launch it away.
I imagine that's the sound that Cass makes when he stabs something.
8 points of damage with your rapier.
Oh no, it's 11 points.
11 points of damage with your rapier.
Damn.
With
As you rush up to Flummox, you're able to see tiny little toddler just basically grabbed by like the neck of his small little like ragged shirt. The cockatrice standing at about like 5.5 feet tall goes and looks over to you. How do you attack Flummox?
I sort of like pull out my rapier with a flourish, and I run up, and I kind of look at the kid, and I don't want to stab him, and so I'm like, I do a little juke that probably doesn't do anything, and then I go like, ha, and I slash him.
As you rush up to Flummox, you see the kid hanging there like a piñata, and you have a lot of opportunities. You give a quick whoa, and you dive right in with the rapier, and you do a considerable amount of damage as you can feel the rapier pierce into Flummox. Give me a quick nature check as your sword enters this beast.
Okay.
Nature.
Natural 20.
A nat 20.
Ayo.
So what you guys probably assumed having, and I'll just give this for free, even though you guys were not there when these things were shrunk. You guys assumed that these were birds that were then shrunk down into figurines that then became real birds again. You realize that the birds you are fighting right now were never real birds. These were statues turned birds, turned into figurines, turned back into the size they actually were. Because as your rapier pierces into them, you realize that this bird has no internal organs and it has no blood. It has no life force within it. It is basically just like a hollow shell with some kind of like beset energy keeping it functioning. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah. For sure. Then I don't think I'm holding my shield, so I don't think I can do 2-weapon fighting. I after I slash it with my sword for my bonus action, a little bit of anyone looking closely sees a little bit of like magic gathering in Cassiano's palm, and then kind of like winces and rethinks it, and it dims and disappears, and that is my turn.
As that is your turn, Cass. Absolutely wonderful. As it is now Flummox and Puke's turn.
I like that one's named Puke. That's so fun.
Flummox, so these, it works a little bit differently here. I'm experimenting with like different kinds of rules. Flummox has 2 attacks. And for one of the attacks, Cass, can you please give me an opposed... Give me actually just 1 second here to check up on this. Give me an opposed dex check.
Dex check. Dex check and not dex save?
Yeah, just a dexterity check.
Cool.
You're so dexy.
That is a 12.
A 12 on a 15...
Pretty good for level 1.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. With Flummox getting a 15, as your sword pierces into its body, not really having any fear. You don't even know if this thing can feel pain. You're basically just like kind of like, this is like an object that was animated. It's not like an actual physical being. So as Flummox begins to move, you can kind of feel your sword like drag inside of it for a bit as it goes, and then begins waddling past you. You are shoulder checked out of the way as Flummox is going to take its full movement directly south and just begin running away.
Oh.
So no attack of opportunity. So I believe it is called, I mean, I can't remember what it's called for the dexterity. I know it's called overpower for if you want to do opposed strength, but we can experiment with the rules with this. I like to call it juke, where you can do an opposed you can do an opposed dex check to move out of someone's threatened range with no attack of opportunity. It's a way of it's a way of
Good,
just
I like that.
fighting against it. There's gonna be a lot of running away in this campaign. Very Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I say, get back here, you fiend!
And Cass, you were able to watch as Flummox begins just like a bat out of hell go directly for this southern section right here. You were able to notice this little park seemingly in the center of a large T intersection of the town of Vacances, and it's going towards the only nature that it's able to see. Make sense?
Yeah.
With that, you got... as Cass, as your eyes follow Flummox, Cherie, Hathor, and Blur, you guys are able to watch as Puke goes and begins and takes off into the sky, heading towards the LaCroix convoy, and takes 30 feet of movement. Basically, Cherie, your eyes immediately go into the convoy, looking like Puke is going to fly over the convoy to get out of here. As you are able to watch Saint-Pierre go, "My lord, protect the lords!" And just kind of runs and body blocks like Lord LaCroix and Duchess LaCroix, tossing them back into the carriage, kind of like
tool.
yeah, and just moves towards the LaCroix convoy. And is now actively in the air by about 15 feet. With that, we then move down to Cherie. Having seen this, what do you do?
Immediately booking it for Puke, since he's going towards the LaCroix convoy. I have 30 feet of movement. So, oh god, is it gonna take my full? No, yeah, so I'm gonna move up to Puke. And you said he's 15 feet in the air?
Yes.
Fuck, Fuck. Yeah. The convoy is like a series of like caravans, right?
Yes, you're able to watch as it stretches several blocks back into the basically like into the street, flanked on either side by these kind of like short, maybe 1-story, 2-story houses and businesses. And you're able to see multiple guards, horses. You're multiple like guardsmen like mounted on horses. You're able to see like several carriages full of like, you know, varying amounts of LaCroix kids and like LaCroix servants and things like that. And you give me a quick, and I'm gonna say because of like all of the character work we did for you, give me a quick strategy check. So just an intelligence check plus your proficiency.
Okie dokie. 19.
A 19. You realize that Puke, with the extra weight of this like young girl kind of just like hanging within their beak, is not really able to get the exact amount of height that they would like to get on a takeoff. And so you realize that if you were dexterous enough, you could use the LaCroix convoy as a way to get up to Puke to get into melee range.
I had the same thought. Then with that, I would like to try to climb up on top of the convoy.
Give me
to get in range of Puke.
100%. Give me an acrobatics check or athletics check, depending on what you think Sherry would be better at.
I'm gonna go athletics.
Okay.
That's a 17.
Some big rolls for level 1 as you watch as Saint-Pierre goes, "The Duke and Duchess must be protected," and slams the door to the main carriage containing Georges and Amélie LaCroix. As the door slams shut, you are able to get one foot up onto the small stairway leading into the carriage, put your other foot on the recently closed door, and hop onto the top of the main royal carriage as Puke is coming directly towards you. What do you want to do?
Are we saying that was like a bonus action, free action?
I'll just say, because you passed the check, that was just your movement.
Oh, okay, sick. Then I would like to take a swing at Puke with my greatsword. That's a 19 to hit.
That's absolutely going to hit. Roll damage.
Okie dokie.
You guys are level 1, right?
Yes, we are. Oh, don't worry. 11 points of damage as well.
11 points of damage. Oh, Jesus Christ. So Kate, how does Sherry attack things? What's her fighting style?
It's very much great weapon fighting if she were a fighter. But using just like brute strength to get onto this convoy. I'm assuming now, like maybe eye level or like a little taller than Puke with this.
Currently, I'll say that they're maybe like 3 or 4 feet above you, so like an upward swing would be able to clip them. Make sense?
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much. Her fighting style, I think, I would say the opposite of Cassiano's, where it's done without ceremony. It's very practical, and almost an exact replica of how she trains, where she just kind of like takes a step back to like gear up because this is a big girl weapon, and then just comes up and cleaves into the bird, minding the kid.
Absolutely. As you brandish your enormous sword as Puke is coming directly towards you, you are able to wait for the perfect moment as you raise your sword up, just nicking the child's boot, like just barely creating a slit in their soul, just enough so that when your sword reaches its peak, you watch as the tip enters into the cockatrice, and the cockatrice drags itself across the tip of your sword, still sailing north. You then would also be, I'll say because of that nat 20 just kind of applies, because of that attack, from all of the training you've done, from all of the hunting you've done, you do not feel the tearing of muscle and sinew and bone and organ. You're able to realize that once you pierced this creature, your blade sailed easily through. It almost seems like the creature is hollow to you.
Then, with that, I still have a bonus action, but I can't, because you said this thing doesn't have blood, right?
No.
So it's immune to blood curses unless I amplify it.
To pop the fuck off, I will say that you are able to use blood curses on it, even though it is not like, So, because imagine me being like, no, fuck your ability, moving on.
Well, no, I can still do something. I would just take damage, because that's what blood hunters do.
Do whatever you want, and we will flavor it however you wish.
So we're saying blood curses work?
Yes, blood curses do work.
Okay, then I will, bonus action, do blood curse of bloated agony onto Puke. It has disadvantage until the end of my next turn. It has disadvantage on strength and dex checks. And if it makes more than one attack on its turn, it takes 1d8 necrotic damage.
Takes 1d8 necrotic damage. Okay, got it. Just remind me of that when we get back to the bird. Sound good?
I'll make a note of that.
Hot girl shit, indeed.
And with that, where am I? I guess I'll move myself up here. That is my turn.
Okay, sounds great. With that, we then move down to Blurso. Blurso, what are you doing? As you watch, you watch a jacked Asamar woman, beautiful with a big sword, and you watch the Honorable Viscount Cassiano Alwyn Pavel III and just start trying to juke an animal real quick. What are you doing?
All right, so I noticed that Puke is being kind of dealt with, so I'm going to start running towards Flummox with my all 30 feet of walking speed, and then I have a light crossbow with 80 feet of range that I would like to try to boop this bird with.
Okay, go ahead. Give me an attack roll with your crossbow.
All right. That is a 6.
A 6. As you raise your crossbow up, as you and you watch as as Flummox low to the ground, running like on its extended like cockatrice talons. You watch as the bolt flies directly over its head.
I also think to myself, while this is happening, well, I don't really know I don't understand to what degree this thing is alive or like deserves freedom, but it is my boss's little bird statue thing, so I guess I gotta get it back.
Okay. Do you move at all?
I run 30 feet towards it.
You run 30 feet towards it. That would put you right next to Cass. Cass, like recovering, Blur runs up right next to you.
Hello.
Hello.
Fuck these things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tap you on the shoulder with my fist.
All right. Out of character, I don't know to what degree we're having this conversation, because I'm like, am I actively running past you?
I would say
that
where it's like you just kind of like stop, make sure Cass is okay, and then you like continue sprinting along. As we then cut over to Hathor. Hathor, what are you doing?
On my broom, I have 60 feet of movement.
Okay.
So I'd like to get up to Flummox, and gripping the broom with just the muscles in her thigh, she's going to outreach her hands to Flummox and, using the spell Command, say give.
Awesome. What is the saving throw for...
14.
It's a 14? Okay, give me 1 second.
Gimme.
Give the
kid over, not a problem.
You know that Hathor is gonna use the commands to like a really tall person, just be like, uppies.
Just give me 1 second to make sure I have everything here prepared, because I do not want to have anything left to chance.
Please work, I only have 2 spell slots.
I'm just a level 1 cleric. I'm just
Where's
a little
my
cleric.
I'm just a little guy.
I'm just a little girl.
I have been a very brave little boy.
Flying just with my legs.
That's hot. That's hot.
Others got that core strength.
Yeah.
So,
She ride horses?
She rides
something.
everything.
Hey, yo.
So feel free to move your token up to whichever one, and I will make that save right now. Apologies for the delay.
Boop. Damn.
This has to be a 13 or higher to pass the save. 15 on the die.
Fuck!
As you watch, as this, but I will say, because you cast that spell, please give me an insight check or a nature check as this bird, as you say, give, and this bird just looks at you and goes,
Okay. Okay, it's gonna be insight because I'm better at that.
Insight.
Oh! Okay, that's a dirty 20.
A dirty incredible rolls as you look to Flummox, and as you realize that you just tried to command it to do something. Because Hathor, I like to believe, at least if last session was anything to go off of, Hathor is very empathetic, correct?
Yes.
As you look into this bird's eyes, as it turns to you, as the kid is kind of like, whoa, and just kind of like hanging there, kind of like swings over. As this bird looks at you and you look into its eyes, you don't get the sense of like hatred or any kind of negative emotions, but you get the impression that this bird lacks emotions. Not only, I would say the dirty 20, not only lacks emotions, but lacks, I guess, autonomy. And you have to wonder, like, why is this bird doing this? Make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Are cantrips bonus actions?
Well, I'm gonna say no for right now because that is I'm even considering rolling it back for Palm in the Fist because of how powerful it is. but no, at least not right now.
Me.
Ooh, sir.
Boo! Why did you have to roll good for the first time ever?
I know.
Just kidding. We love you.
That's the end of my turn.
That is the end of your turn. No additional movement because of your room.
My broom. No, I flew 60 feet to the
burb.
to the borb.
Okay. Oh, okay. Got it.
I already flew there.
Sounds great.
There.
I did it.
I did. Don't do.
With that, I'm gonna make some wisdom checks very quick. Before
Hathor's just standing with her arms open. Gimme.
Give it.
That is going
Give
to be a
Give it.
failure.
Ah!
Failure there, and a failure there.
Huh?
Cherie.
What?
On top of the carriage, you are able to feel under your feet a knock, like kind of at the ceiling, and go. And you're able to hear, Cherie, Saint Pierre is terrified. How's it going out there?
I stomped down twice onto the roof of the carriage. I'm like, it's fine.
You're able to hear. I am not terrified. In what way am I terrified? As you are then able to look, as you then hear, as you're then able to, who is there, boy? And you're able to see one of the guardsmen on top of his mount, in like the standard kind of like oranges and yellows of LaCroix, like within his armor. You're able to watch his his mount as he kind of holds onto the reins. You're able to watch as he is bucked off of his horse completely, and you watch as this horse and just begins slapping like the carriages around it, as you realize that the presence of these cockatrices is startling animals. Ooh. And because as you look to the left and the right, you realize that the LaCroix entourage has nothing but horses drawing it, with the guards being on horses as well, and the presence of these cockatrices is going to make these animals hostile the longer they exist. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Blur and Cass, as you guys like kind of look towards Flummox, Hathor kind of like after casting that command, kind of like circling around it, you're able to see an ox hitched up with like farming gear, like a plow attached to its back. You're able to watch this oxen go and begin kind of like looking at the bird and become basically startled and almost frenzied, afraid of the cockatrice's presence, as this ox seemingly now will cause chaos on the battlefield as well.
Uh-oh. Luckily, I'm so good with those.
Excellent.
Thank God we have an animal trainer.
Thank God.
With all of that, we then loop back over to Cass. Cass, what are you doing?
Okay, I am going to run up to Flummox. And How is it like holding the kid?
So currently, both of the cockatrices have their respective children in their beak, like by their shirts, like dangling like piñatas.
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay. Yeah. I want to. Is Hawthor still right there, kind of like holding her arms out? Okay. I am going to. Oh, I'm trying to decide how to do this. I want to try and I stow my rapier and I pull out a very beautiful ornate dagger and I just want to try and like cut the kid's shirt so that they fall into Hawthor's arms.
You want to cut
If I
the
can do
kid's you want to cut the kid's shirt.
Like I want to cut like the part that's like hanging so that the cockatrice is just holding like a scrap of cloth and then Hawthor is holding a child.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do with that then. We're gonna make. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna make a dex check, and you're gonna make an attack roll because basically the flummox right now is holding on to the kid. If your attack roll can beat the dexterity save made by flummox, you will be able to cut the kid's shirt. Make sense?
Okay.
Because flummox is going to instinctively, maternally, like move away and try to get the kid out of there. If that makes any sense.
Okay. Oh no! Please do not let me kill this child.
Don't hit in that one.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna let you know right
No
now.
pressure.
If you hit in that
I cannot
one,
wait.
if
for
you
the
hit in that
tone
one, you're
of
gonna
this-
hit. So
I cannot
We're
wait.
opening with child death.
Yeah, the tone of
What
this
was it?
game
You said-
is gonna change.
okay, I'm gonna tell you.
You
what
said an attack roll?
yes, make an attack roll. You have to beat a 3.
You can. You can.
I can. Even with
You
the
can.
modifier. I
You
can.
can.
I can.
You can.
21.
Oh my god.
Child murder today.
No child murder in our soap opera.
Hawthor, as your arms were extended to cast that spell, even though you realized that your command did not take place, you recognize the goodness which you have done in this world as Flummox, in response to your spell, reflexively turns their head to look away from you, and just as their head begins to turn, you're able to watch Cass run up, basically like grab onto the kid's ankle real quick, jump up and slit the kid's shirt right above their head, and you watch as the cockatrice' beak is suddenly empty as the kid falls directly into your arms as you catch them.
As I do it, I shout, "Catch the brat!"
Hathor will catch the child with both hands and be like, "It's not how you talk to children, but we'll work on that later."
Do we have to? God.
Yes.
Hawthor, as Moss, as you probably are very familiar with, this kid, as you catch them, looks up at you, and you're able to just see like their face totally, this like young girl's face totally blank up, and just go. And just
I got you. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to cry. It's quite scary.
Wonderfully supportive as Flummox's seeming like, what is it called? Adoptive child has now been taken back from them. With that, however, Flummox still definitely a threat. Cass, excellent turn. Anything else you want to do?
That is. I think that's all I can do.
Everything you can do? Okay, now
I'll stay right there. I'll with my bonus action, I'll swap my dagger out for my rapier again.
Dagger out for rapier, just new weapon coming out. As it is now Flummox and Puke's turn.
Come at me.
Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. Come on. You won't. Swing. Swing first. You won't.
Darby, heads or tails?
Don't be a little bitch about
Ooh,
it.
tails.
Tails? Hawthor. Evens
No!
Evens or odds?
Oh.
Evens, baby.
Evens?
I got
Cats.
9 hit points. Here we. Oh, wait.
Recognizing As Flummox looks at both of you, recognize you again, no emotions, maybe no intelligence, but looking at both of you and realizing this was a dual effort to remove their adoptive kid, what they maternally imprinted on, just for a moment just kind of decides which one of you to attack and ends up going for Cass, the one that removed their child from their care, and is now going
I have 9 hit points.
Is going to take
Got 9 hit
2
points.
attack rolls on you.
Okay. Come at me. Come the fuck at me.
Oh, I have a thing. I have a thing I can do.
You have a thing you can do? What thing can you do?
I have a thing because I'm a little bitch and picked a homebrew subclass.
Yeah.
I have a thing. Hold on. I gotta get to.
Drew,
Okay.
Drew, you said 2 attacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Good to know.
Okay. I can use godly grace. You must make a wisdom saving throw of 14, or the creature becomes charmed by me until the end of its next turn.
What the fuck?
It's a thing. I can
Wild.
do it.
Wait. What kind of save is it? Charisma?
A wisdom saving
okay.
throw of 14.
14. Gotta be a 13 or higher. As Flummox goes to attack Cass,
No.
as you shout no, you are able to watch as Flummox goes, "Ah!" and cocks its head and looks directly at you, Hathor. And you watch as the bird, Cass, as you kind of like, the beak stops directly before it touches onto your chest, as its head turns and kind of, you are able to watch as this giant bird goes, "Ah! Ah!" and walks up to Hathor non-threateningly.
Yeah, the creature cannot attack and must use all of its movements to get as close to you as possible.
You are able to watch as Flummox, give me a, Cass, give me a luck check. Just give me a flat D20 roll.
Flat D20. 12.
12? You lucky son of a gun. You are actually able to watch as Flummox is going to do its best to get as close to you as possible, Hathor. Those maternal instincts kicking in, is going to walk directly behind you out of Cass's threatened range, which can trigger an opportunity attack in an effort to extend its wings and wrap its wings around you, giving you a hug from behind, basically.
Let's go.
Ooh, I don't need this to turn into Titanic with a bird.
I slash with my rapier.
Well, give me an attack roll.
That is 21.
Holy shit, that hits.
Damn.
What is it? What does the die? The D8.
What does the die?
What does the die? What do the die?
Drew, I can do
8
that.
points of piercing damage.
8 points, got it.
Yes.
What else?
I just letting you know I can only do that 4 times per long rest. So
Wow, only 4?
4?
Oh, wow. Damn.
That's so many.
That's so many.
At some point, I'm just going to start believing that you are making these races that you are playing. And
I'm not. I didn't make that. Well, I made this. I made the Nephilim. I made that, but I didn't make the love domain subclass.
Cass, as you, as Flummox leaves, I'm gonna say this like hug is able to happen of like its wings going around the back of Hathor. Hathor, your kind of head being exposed, but as this creature like wraps its wings around you, as you're able to hear Cass, where do you stab Flummox to end Flummox's existence?
I seeing him walk up to Hathor, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I stab him in the butt.
As you are able to stab Flummox directly in its hindquarters, you are actually able to hear. However, you understand that this is not a biological response to what you are doing. Instead, you recognize that from the hole which you put in Flummox before, you're able to recognize a blue and green energy seemingly coming out of Flummox. As this second hole which you put in, as you then draw your rapier back, you are able to hear almost like air escaping from their hollowed body, like a balloon deflating, and you watch as surrounding Hathor, Flummox is already baggy and skin-like like a bat, and you watch as it begins to and just begin to deflate onto Hathor as its skin begins to kind of open up. And you watch as its
Oh,
body
no.
begins to become translucent as this magical energy begins to escape it.
This is not a consensual hug. God.
You good under there?
I think I will be. A little help?
Sorry, it's kind of funny. I just gotta go stand there laughing.
You just see Hathor, like, turn to look at you, and for the briefest second, her eyes just go fully black.
Oh!
Flummox is now dead, and you understand that these things are simply like a very thinly veiled, somewhat effective construct, just completely just flatlined onto Hathor. As Hathor, you're kind of wearing it like a coat, like a shawl almost, like a coat, as it's just hanging off of you.
Skin coat.
This is just going to traumatize the child further. Get this off.
As you,
Yeah.
the skin just flaps on the ground. What does Cass do?
What? I go over and I kind of like pick it up by the shoulders and I kind of like whah,
As you
like a tablecloth,
with a flourish,
and
it
I
is
hold
away.
it up to Hathor and the child, and I'm like, bah!
Can I know we're still in combat, but can Hathor just like kick him in the head?
You want to the kid? Yeah, no problem.
No. Cass.
Cass, as you go, and you just kind of like try to scare the kid. You watch the kid go, ah! And just fully faints in Hathor's arms. Is just terrified, covered in tears and mud.
Covered in tears.
Cass laughing and pointing. He's like, ah!
Can I just like put a boot in his chest and push him away?
You just kind of like, I'll just say, yeah, Cass, you just kind of get kicked a little bit by Hathor.
Fucking asshole.
We then cut over to, that was like 3 people had turns there. This is the
Sorry.
No, you're totally good. That was awesome. We then cut over to Puke. One attack coming towards you, Sherry, and then is going to need an opposed athletics check, okay?
Of which it has disadvantage on because of my blood curse.
Yes, it would.
And is it making a second attack?
So it is going to be one attack, and then it's going to try to move through you. Like move through your space.
Okay. So you need an opposed athletics check for me?
So I'm going to do the attack first with disadvantage.
Okay.
And would that...
No, sorry, it's the athletics check it has with disadvantage. The attack is just straight.
Okay, got it. So I'm going to make that attack just straight right now. Looking to get a 13 or higher. This attack is going to hit you, Sherry.
That's fine.
With that, Sherry, you are going to take 4 points of piercing damage as you're able to watch as Puke, kid still in beak, goes and swipes at you with a claw. And as this claw, give me a quick D4 roll.
D4 roll.
Yes.
Okay. 3.
A 3. This claw is unable to slash at your throat or at your arms, but it is able to drag across your thigh right in between the gaps of your armor. And as its blade kind of cuts into you, it's not that deep, it's not life-threatening, but I do need a DC 11 Constitution save.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You make it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
17.
And as you make that, as this thing cuts into you, give me a nature check, if you will, just to see if you know what this thing just tried to do to you.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
Oh
no, I'm just getting the music up. So just give me that roll.
This isn't Fey, Fiend, or Undead, right?
No.
Okay, then I don't have advantage on this.
But given it is a monster, I just think you would like just kind of know.
Yeah. 15.
A 15. As you're able to, you feel very aware of your own heartbeat. You just momentarily feel and your heart for about 2 beats, almost imperceptible to most people, your heartbeat slows a little bit, and you have to wonder why. But from so many adventures, your body being so resistant to toxins, you just naturally fight it off, and you continue. Or you are able to continue fighting. Give me 1 second to get the music back up.
Interesting.
Do. And And do we want to increase the intensity, or do we kind of like the jovial vibes?
I say up the ante. Why not?
Up the ante, no problem. Then, if you can, please give me the athletics check I will need to beat.
You need to make that with disadvantage.
Not a problem at all.
Athletics, you said?
Yes.
16.
16? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta beat a 16 with disadvantage. That is a statistical impossibility. As the music is far more intense now, as Cherie is you got Georges and Amélie LaCroix right beneath you. You gotta show up Saint Pierre.
No, what? No, I don't gotta show anyone up. I'm just trying to protect.
16 with disadvantage. This thing is a -2, so I gotta get a 14 or higher each time. Cherie,
Yeah.
this thing swipes at you, and then with its two hind legs, and tries to barrel through you. You are able to stand there. You brace with your sword. As it runs into you, its neck kind of crinkles. As it is backed up, it cannot get past you, as it is going to stay exactly where it is. And with that, we then go back to you, Cherie. What do you do?
Since the blood curse lasts until the end of my this turn, I would like to try to make another, oppose athletics to try to take the child from it.
Go right ahead. Absolutely.
Would it be opposed athletics?
It would be opposed athletics, yes.
Okay, so it'll still have disadvantage on this.
What a fucking smart move.
That's cocked. Oh, shit. It's only a 10.
Only a 10? Okay, this thing does have a -2 to strength.
And you're making it with disadvantage.
And yes, I am. As you lunge for the child, you are able to get your hands on the kid, as you're able to grab onto both of his ankles. But as you begin to pull, you're able to watch as Puke goes deeper into like the back of the shirt, as you are now have your hands on the child, as you are now in a tug of war for this kid, as the kid is like just kind of getting held there.
Okay.
Did you roll like? Never mind.
I rolled a 14 and a 15.
Okay. Shit. What are we calling that? Object interaction, bonus action.
To do an opposed athletics check to get the kid back?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll be nice because you're level 1. I will say that is your bonus action to do.
Okay, but I'm like 2 hands holding the kid, like, or
yeah. So it's like, well, I'll say it's whatever you would like to do because you still have like your sword, and I'll say it's sword in one hand, and you have your hand on the kid's ankle.
Fuck it. Okay, since this bird isn't letting go, I'm gonna let the kid go, and I'm gonna take another swing, arcing high to avoid it.
Okay, not a problem. Give me an attack roll.
Another sword swing. Oh, fuck. A 10 doesn't hit, right?
A 10 just hits.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh thank God!
These are like CR like 1/2 like creatures.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Imagine if it was like 25. Like, this
oh
fucking...
baby. That is 14 points of damage to Puke.
Would you like to describe how you end Puke's existence, or would you like me to do it for you?
I would, if that's all right by you.
Go right ahead.
So having the ankle of the kid in one hand, sword in the other, I briefly let go of the kid just to get another hand on the hilt of the sword. And almost exactly like she trained with the straw dummies, takes a step back and then lobs the head off of this cockatrice, and like coming down off the arc, I would like her to catch the kid as it's falling. Without
a doubt. As you let go of the kid, you enter into a bit of a spin to swing your sword around to get the momentum you need to chop through this thing. And as you let go of the kid, the cockatrice's head has to bow down to readjust its grip, just enough for, as you reach the end of your swing, your sword digs deep into the back of this cockatrice's neck, cuts cleanly through with one arm as your other arm catches the kid underneath the arm and clutches him close to your chest, as you're able to hear as you watch the body of the cockatrice begin to kind of shake, as you watch blue and green energy begin to leave its body as it begins to deflate onto the top of the carriage.
Can I make an Arcana check on that blue and green energy?
Yes, you may.
Not Fey, Fiend, or Undead?
Not Fey, Fiend, or Undead, no.
14.
14. You know this as Beset magic. This is the
Okay.
these the signature colors and the work of the Beset family. This is an object that was obviously created by them. For what purpose, you really do not know. But that is what you were working with a 14.
Wunderbar.
Excellent. Is that all for you? Anything else you want to do?
I'll put the actually holding the kid. I'll hop down off the carriage and I'll set the kid down, and just like get on my knees in front of the kid and be like, "You're safe now."
As you say this to the kid goes, "Thanks," and then fully turns 180 degrees and just starts running back to where their house is. Just gets
Yep.
out of there.
I didn't want to ask if they had parents just in case they didn't.
As this kid sprints away, Sherry, so you jump down from the carriage. Excellent. Give me a quick perception check as you just kind of hop down.
With pleasure. Ha ha ha. There we go. Perception, that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You realize that, like, kind of all this commotion happening outside, even though it's only been going on for maybe like 30, 45 seconds now, you're able to watch as people begin poking their heads kind of like out of their houses, out of their shops to see what's going on. They see like these deflating creatures. They see the animals kind of like freaking out a little bit. And you're able to see like just people are like, oh, and they like acknowledge your flourish. They acknowledge all of your flourishes, honestly, your teamwork, as they just begin seemingly giving you praise for your excellent actions. We then move down to Blurceau. As Cass and Hawthor are kind of fooling around a little bit, just kind of one of them being a dick to a kid, the other one doing their best to comfort the kid, you realize that the ox to the west of Cass is currently and is getting ready to charge directly at Cass.
All
Let
right.
it happen.
Well, I'm gonna real quick check my spells to see if there's really anything I can do about that.
But the things are gone. Why is the animal still angry?
I mean, okay, short of shooting another
Because
bow
Cass is
at
waving
it.
the skid around like, ooh, ooh.
Right, forgot about that.
So I'm between. I can just shoot at it with my bow, or I could cast a minor illusion and try to, like, I don't know, scare it away with like a bigger ox. Is that something you could do with minor illusion?
Anything's possible, man.
Yeah, sure. Give me a quick. So you want to cast minor illusion to scare the ox away?
Yeah, with a slightly bigger ox.
Perfect. Give me a quick. I'll say it's a deception check. Or, you know what? I'll say it can be a nature check or a deception check as to trying to like go against this ox, basically.
8.
An 8, excellent. I'm gonna roll that opposed. This ox is gonna get advantage because it is currently focused in on committing violence. It has to beat an 8 with its stats. Let me just look up. I just need to get this up real quick right here.
In our other
We'll say
game, we're
that's a
fighting this
wisdom
ancient
check.
sand demon in this livestock.
That's the true enemy.
Tony, as you look out, similar to how when you stare through like a very thin red glass of wine, an apparition of an ox's head begins to form in front of the ox. Now the head is big, but you can't summon the entire body because that would just be too large of an illusion for a minor illusion. But as the ox, like kind of as this like weird wavy apparition of an ox's head is in front of the ox, you recognize that you just showed this what could be described as a bull, nothing but red, and through looking at this opposing bull in the eyes, just directly sees Cass.
I seem to have exacerbated the problem.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Also, you ever say a word?
I just stand there, like, as the spell is casting, I'm just like, yeah! Then as I see what's going on, I'm like, yeah, oh, no!
I love Florso's wine-based magic. That's amazing.
Yay.
So good.
And any movement as you see that happening.
Ah, geez. I mean, I guess I think about running towards Cass, and then I'm like, maybe I don't want to be exactly right there right now. I guess I don't.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I just fucking that whole like face transformation that all happens, and you're like, oh god, no effort, no movement to like help out at all, just standing stuck. No, wait, please.
I'm just too in shock at the moment.
Excellent. We then move down to Hathor. Hathor, what are you doing?
Do I see this bull about to attack Cass?
You would see the bull about to attack Cass, yes.
Get over here, Dick Nose. Grab him by the collar and just
Dick
haul
Nose.
him. I'll haul him onto the broom, and I'd like to fly 30 feet up.
Can a broom?
It can. It just won't be able to move 60 feet. It can only move 30 feet.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Cass, you are then.
I want to haul him so he's hanging off of it, looking down at the ground,
Cass, do you allow this to happen?
Begrudgingly.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like this.
Hathor,
Oh wow! I wonder what it's like when somebody does something you don't like.
Hathor, dragging one foot on the ground and drifting your broom directly into the stomach of Cass. Cass, you double over the broom, your arms go forward, as then Hathor then begins and just flies you 30 feet into the air.
Oh, why would you do it like that?
What's your name, by the way?
I'm Cass. I'm the honorable of the
Cass.
Let me do the full title. I am the honorable Viscount Cassiano Alwyn Pavel.
So Cass. Nice to meet
No, gotta say the whole thing.
you. She just giggles.
All right.
And you're welcome.
Whatever.
Hathor, with that movement, anything else?
I will cast. I don't know. I will. I don't know. Yeah, no. That's what I'll do. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. As you guys are flying up.
Oh wait, does the bull go for Blur Salt now?
No.
That one actually does pass.
No, my boy.
Excellent.
No.
So what happens next? Just rolling some saves. The ox is still frenzied. The ox is still startled. And Sherry, you are actually able to hear, "Get a handle on your reins!" As you realize that the horse, which is currently frenzied, is not able to frenzy the other animals in the convoy. The other animals in the convoy have passed their wisdom saves to not be frenzied.
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Blisso? You are able to watch as the angry eyes, like the slanted eyebrows, is able to watch Cass begin to ascend far past where it can get to, and it looks over towards the only other person that it can see through the red veil of these wine ripples, and is going to try to gore rush you in the middle of the street.
Can I use my reaction to try and charm the animal?
What is the range of that?
30 feet.
30 feet?
You can say no. That's totally fine.
So I am going to say no, because technically when the ox, because the perspective is a little bit difficult to work with right now, when the attack would actually happen, it would be out of the range of that charm. That makes sense?
You mean we're not using non-Euclidean geometry?
I'm
God
sorry.
damn it.
Look, Allatour does not have a 0. Like, their mathematical system is fucked. So give me just 1 second here.
No worries.
So I'm gonna make an attack roll on you, Blur. That is definitely going to hit. That is a 19 on the die. Can I please get a strength saving throw from you?
Strength saving throw. Okay. Ooh. 19.
A 19, excellent. You are not knocked prone by this
Yay.
goring rush. Blurso, as this ox and begins trotting towards you, as you look directly at it, you are able to get yourself in between its horns so that you are not bucked up and over it as it charges into you. But as the front of its skull collides with your stomach, you're going to take 8 points of damage.
Oof.
As it skids you back just 5 feet, as you are now within the melee range. What's your HP?
10 overall.
10, you got 2 hit points left.
That's true.
God damn.
Ow.
This horse, still being frenzied, attempts to buck its rider and is unable to, and that is the only attack action it has. As we then loop back over in the initiative order, back to Cass. Cass, what are you doing hanging off of this broom?
Okay. Seeing the ox attack Florso after Florso tried to help me, in a rare moment, Casiano feels kind of bad. And so, how high up in the air are we?
30 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna say, later, Pinky, and I'm gonna shove myself off of the broom. I assume I might take damage.
Acrobatics check. Acrobatics check immediately.
Acrobatics check be upon ye.
Is there fall damage in this game?
Yes. Oh, we're about to find out.
5.
You got a 5? Perfect.
Yep.
I can't wait for Cass to go later, Picky, and then fall flat on his back and go unconscious.
Cass, as you what do you say again?
I said later, Pinky.
Excellent. You say later, Pinky. Hawthorne, you watch as Cass, let's go. Cass, you fall. Tailbone hits first, head cracks against the ground. You take 13 points of force damage as you hit the ground.
How?
Oh my god, you're fucking kidding me.
3d6, 30 feet up. 5 acrobatics check. That's what
Luckily,
you get.
I am not down.
You're not down.
Barely. I am going. Oh, I don't want to. Fuck. I was gonna heal Blorso, but now I don't think I can do that.
Cass, quite literally, you see like. And you have like the fucking cartoon birds circling around your head.
You're right, Drew. This is
okay.
slapsticky.
Yeah,
How far away is Blorso from me?
like 10 feet.
How many hit
Oh,
points
I didn't
do you
mean to
have
do
left?
that.
Oh no!
Just the one.
Uno.
Was falling my action?
No.
Thank
That was you
you.
can do it again if you want.
Would you like to do it again?
Okay. I am going to go to Blorso. Am I? I'm kind of a bitch. Yeah. I will go around to Blorso to hope to not get into the ox's
Yes.
range.
Very good idea.
And I am going to use my lay on hands pool, and I am going to give Blorso 2 hit points. Because I do not get that many, and I need some for me.
2 hit points
In
back.
character, I don't think I even say anything. I'm just a little in shock. I just watched this person fall 30 feet, then fucking splat, and just try to heal me a bit. I'm grateful, but I'm too frazzled to express it right now.
That is okay. He just kind of when he falls, he just kind of like ugh, and like gets up.
Oh, you
like,
fully
stumbles
cough
upward
blood.
and like
You fully like your nose is bleeding and you're like
Oh, no.
like something popped inside of you. That was not good.
and I
Ooh.
stumble over and I slap a hand against your back, and there's this kind of you smell roasting marshmallows and mulled wine, and you feel like maybe someone put an ice pack on a bruise. It is a tiny, kind of negligible amount better.
Oh my
Hooray.
god, that's iconic.
And Cassiano does it all very begrudgingly and is just like, that is my turn.
One of the best turns in D&D I've ever had.
Good
the
God.
pleasure of experiencing.
Good God, man.
I glance over at Cassiano, and I'm just like, I don't know how to make small talk in this situation, so I'm just gonna shut up.
It's okay.
Can you both please give me a nature check very quickly as that exchange happens?
Mhm. Nature, you say.
13.
13?
4.
4. Cass, that is fully because you are a wounded animal right now. You are on the verge of death as you drag yourself over. As hand slaps on your back, Blur, you are able to look over to the ox, and the ox still kind of like dust moving, like nostrils flaring angrily. As you are given more health, there's 2 of you right in front of the ox now. As this ox is kind of like pushing up against you, do you do anything, say anything to it? Because you realize that this is a real animal, not like the statues which you were just fighting.
Do I expect to be able to communicate with it?
No, but it is like, you don't need to kill this thing
Whoa,
necessarily.
girl. Whoa. Easy.
All right, if it's within arm's reach of me, I guess I'm gonna do like the Chris Pratt with the dinosaurs, kind of just like reach out and try to like let it come to me, sort of.
Oh, it came to you. It fucking
So it did.
rammed its way. It rammed across you. But as you just kind of like lift your hand up and place it on the back of its skull, even like after it rammed into you, this reassuring gesture is able to remove this ox from the frenzied state as you're able to calm this oxen down.
Yay!
As it goes. As it looks up towards you, as your hand kind of just like trails like in between its eyes, as it just stands there looking at you.
Just like,
Nice.
That's gotta be the thumbnail. Is everybody fucking doing? Oh, perfect.
Wait, there's our thumbnail.
Yeah, excellent. Yes. With that, anything else said, Blur? Anything said, Cass? As you're dying.
be careful, those things are
I-
vicious. One bit me, yes, just today.
I just say, oh shit. And then I think to myself, I think a little bit worse has happened to you today.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm doing great.
Entirely your own doing.
The only person who did damage to me during this fight was me.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
As the oxes turn friendly, Sherry, you're able to hear
Good job,
one.
Torso.
We then move down to you. You're able to hear one of your guardsmen struggling with their mount.
First of all, just like after like seeing the kid like run away, like turns and like takes in what the fuck just happened over here, and like was making a move to go. Is like, okay, they've got it, I think, and is gonna go over to the horse and just kind of like approach it from the side, hands up like, whoa, you're okay.
Give me a nature check with advantage because you've worked with these mounts before. As said in the last session, you made sure they were all tacked and taken care of before the journey.
Let's fucking go. Nature?
Yes.
18.
18. With the with the guard posted on the back doing his best to control it, as you come over are able to grab onto the horse's mare, put a hand on its neck, even though it's kind of like and begins trotting a little bit. You are able to calm the horse down and bring the horse out of frenzy. And with that, with no other animals frenzied, with no other opportunity for animals to frenzy other animals, we are out of combat, and you all have survived. Congratulations.
Barely.
Hathor will descend on her broom and like land, look at the child, and then like put it under a tree, like propped up, and then just because it's not her kid, you know.
That's true. Yeah.
No, that child's fainted. They're not awake.
Oh
right,
yeah.
sorry.
I forgot that I did that.
Did I do that?
We'll go up to Blur and Cass and be like, "Good job, good sir," talking to Blur while smacking Cass on the back and doing healing hands.
I thought you were gonna do damage. I was like, I ain't got any.
Put him in the dirt.
Kill him.
But that's gonna be 2d4 healing for you.
Okay.
Oh, fuck! That's 8 points of healing to
Hey
you.
yo! Thank you.
Hey,
Cleric
yo.
is, cleric is good at cleric.
Let's go.
Cleric's got a
I-
cleric.
While you do that, I slap my hand against my chest and do the rest of my lay on hands at the same time. And I'm like, I'm very good at that.
Yeah, very good at... I'm sorry, what was that acrobatic move you did off of my broom?
I know that not all people will recognize that sort of like fake
I do
out.
see a puddle of your own blood back there, just
It
so
was
you know.
it was to make the ox feel safe, feel unthreatened.
Doesn't red make them more upset?
Well,
No.
it doesn't.
Cool.
Actually,
And she'll just walk away. Flip her
I
hair
almost
and
just gave
she
myself
goes,
11 damage instead of 11 healing.
You're dead. Just dead.
I'm dead. Rest in
Cass
pieces.
Pats himself on the breast and then immediately just stabs his own heart.
You stab yourself.
Those turn reactions there. Blur, any interactions to be had as the battle is now over? As things begin to settle as you have this ox quite literally in the palm of your hand.
New pet, new
New
pet,
pet,
nah,
new pet.
new.
I guess I'll kind of just pat the ox and give it scratches.
Yeah.
As you scratch the ox and as you pat the ox, you're able to watch a long, like ponytail-haired farmer, like packets of seeds all over him, run up to you and go, "Oh, good sir, you didn't hurt my oxen. Thank you for that. What's your name?"
My name is Blurso, sir, and what is your name?
Blurso, my name is Jacques. Thank you so much. It took me a month's wages to buy this ox to help me till the fields, to have it be harmed. All right. Looks over to the ox and goes, "La Quinn, are you all right?" As she goes, and just kind of like snorts and kind of shakes her head and like kind of rubs it up against the dude and goes, "Well, thank you, good sir." He kind of like reaches like into like his varying like pockets and goes, "Well, it may not be much, but I had an extra one of these." As he hands you a little packet of apple seeds.
I guess I take the apple seeds, and I'm a little confused as to why an apple seed specifically as opposed to anything else. I guess I say to him, "Thank you for this, but also just for future reference, if this is your ox, you might want to keep it like better tied up or controlled or something, because it did almost kill us, and if we felt like it, we could like extort you over that right now."
This dude looks at you.
I don't change my facial expression or anything, although I'm just saying this very matter of fact.
He looks at you and you immediately just see like a bead of sweat forms under his brow as he goes like, "Sir, I can't say I make that much. I don't think I'd be able to pay you whatever you're asking for. I clearly can't stand. I watched that man fall 30 feet out of the sky and get up and walk away. I can't fight you either. As he just like starts like stammering because he thinks that you're threatening him right now.
It like just occurs to me that it did sound like I just threatened him, and but I also don't really know like the correct. I don't know if it benefits me to de-escalate the tension, so I'm kind of just gonna stand there and like,
And so the cycle continues of making Drew laugh so hard he chokes.
Hold on.
It was beautiful. Pure cinema.
So good.
So good.
Give me
So
just
good.
1 second here, because that is just the funniest goddamn thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
He reaches kind of like into a little pouch as he's like, that's threatening, that's horrifying, as he reaches into a little pouch and he pulls out a small little corked vial with a brown, almost like crystallized substance inside, and he goes, well, sir, if we can just forget this ever happened, I can give this to you right now. If you wanted to, this is I had to... a trader came in, it fell off the back of his wagon, it's not even supposed to be mine, but if you put this on one of the seeds, it only works for one, but you can grow an apple tree as fast as you need it, if this would make it even for you.
I'll very slowly reach out and take it, because I'm just thinking to myself, did this man steal this from some guy? Is this going to be an exciting incident if I take this now? I'll just do it anyway, though. And I'll just be like, thank you. And then I'm kind of just nervous. I'm like, is this okay? I mean, do you need this, or is it okay if I just
Here. And Hathor will give him a gold coin and say, thank you for the gift.
He fully like double handshake, like two hands on your one, like very, like that's a lot of money to him as he shakes your hand, and then goes, oh, thank you, miss. And as he looks over to Blurso, no idea how to react to this person who just went from very confident extorting him to very nervous out of nowhere, as he's like, well, you both have a very nice day then. He turns and just begins walking away.
I shout after him, and sir, if anyone asks, tell them the Honorable Viscount Cassiano Owen Favel showed great bravery on this day.
Halfway through all of that, you start spitting. Oh, no, you're better now. Sorry about that. You do not spit up
Also-
blood.
Also, if I can retcon, I forgot that Blorso was super hurt, so I'm gonna give him my lay on hands instead.
Oh,
If I can retcon that, if that's allowed.
it's okay. I mean, we were out of
You know the grand
I
scheme
have
of
4 hit
things.
points.
You had 1 hit point. He had 2, so...
Exactly. Yeah.
We heal when we take naps, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
You
okay.
get
Exactly.
3 more hit points if you would like them.
Sure.
Because I realized and I felt bad.
Sherry, at the north section, with the LaCroix convoy, you're able to watch, like, as everything like begins to settle, you're able to hear like, and you're able to hear like door latches on several of the carriages. As you're able to watch, number one, at the very back, you see Con LaCroix kind of like poke his head out, lean out, and go. As he spots Hathor's very distinct pink
fuck.
hair, like 3 blocks away. As he goes, she's here. It's meant to be. As he does that, you then see Palm LaCroix stick her head out and look to you, Sherry. As Palm goes, oh, Sherry, were you hurt in the battle? And lastly, you're able to see Amelie LaCroix. I might actually have a picture because I don't believe we've met her
We
yet.
have not.
I have a picture on the RP one, which we'll go to after we take a little bit of a break. But you're able to see Amelie LaCroix, beautiful blonde woman, older, about the same age as George's, the Duchess LaCroix, poke her head out and go, what the fuck was all of that? As she just crassly begins just, no, honestly, I want an explanation from somebody. And as she calls for that, what do you say?
Immediately at the sighting of the Duchess, I drop to a knee in the dirt, and say, Duchess LaCroix, there was a threat to the children of town, and myself and these individuals here stepped in, and the threat has been diminished. I apologize for the disruption it has caused our journey.
As she stands on the little staircase leading down to about like a 1 or 2 foot drop above the muddied ground, you watch as like Georges and Saint-Pierre try to stick their heads out, and she takes out a handkerchief and goes, no, back inside, you're both bloody useless, and just kind of like hits them with it as she crosses her arms over herself and begins and it just drops fully into the muddied dirt, her heels sinking deep in as she kind of like hikes up her dress a bit and walks over to you and goes, sir, please remove yourself from the mud.
I stand up and I offer her my arm. So she just, since it is not suitable terrain for a lady.
She looks at you. She looks at your arm. She turns and she places her arm on top of yours, and goes, What were those beasts? What were those people?
The people. I'm sure these fine folk can explain, as the creatures seemingly came with the loot that Mr. Bumperdinger had with him, and these fine folk stepped in to help. And I walk her over to the others.
You watch as like she takes 3 or 4 steps onto like the street, and you watch as like her ankle kind of rolls as she goes, fucking terrible things, as she just fully kicks off her very expensive heels into the street, and goes, wonderful, just fully like barefoot in the middle of the street, and then walks over to the main pack of people, arm in arm. You're able to watch like some like street urchins go, yeah, and just to grab the heels and just begin running away. I
pick up her shoes as soon as she takes them off.
Okay, got it.
I don't let them take them.
You grab her shoes, no problem. As Cherie, you escort Amelie LaCroix over to Blur, Cass, and Hathor. All with everyone kind of like healing up, having their conversations. You look over as Cherie, arm in arm with one of the most important people in this country, looking at you as she goes, a fine set of warriors, it seems, having dispatched those, what were they, statues? Were they balloons? I couldn't tell you. Does anybody here know?
Give Blurso a very pointed look.
All right. Okay, out of character. I actually don't know how the ox and things showed up. Were they just like agitated by the fight that was happening?
Yes. So basically what happened, the cockatrices were just, out of game, just mechanics. The cockatrices were so ugly that they startled the animals that saw them. They're very like horrifying, like predatory birds that like when the ox and the horses saw them, they freaked out.
They were so ugly that everyone died. Anyway, it's just been put on me to explain what's going on here. I'm just like, those were my boss's bird statues. I guess they turned into living bird statues, and a whole frenzy broke out. But we took care of it.
Duchess LaCroix, they seem to have been carrying the magic of the Beset family.
That tracks. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She looks back over to you, Blurso, and goes, Sir Blurso Bumperdinger, correct?
Yeah.
A gifted sommelier, if I understand. Spoken of highly by Björhe's Beset.
Oh, thank you. I'm wondering, do I know this person?
You
How
definitely
know me, or am I just wondering?
If you have not seen her, you have read you have like heard news about her. Yes.
Am I surprised that she knows who I am?
That would. I mean, I'll leave that up to you. You certainly do rub elbows with high class people.
All right. So I'm taken aback a little, but not too much, I guess. I'm just like, oh, thank you.
Yes. Now, would you be able to explain to me why a sommelier was transporting items in such poor care that it seemingly endangered multiple children in this esteemed town?
Oh, I like her.
I blink a few times, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I thought they were just little bird statues.
You thought they were just little bird statues?
Yeah,
give me a deception
I'm realizing
check.
now that I think they were in like full bird form before they were given to me, so this is a lie.
Give me a deception check.
Can I give him the help action?
What do you say to give him the help action?
I don't remember how to address this woman. Is it like
Duchess
lady?
LaCroix.
It's like your grace or
But
whatever.
I keep rolling 3s. Deception's a +5, so it's an 8, but I rolled a 3.
I say, Your Grace, the Honorable Viscount Casiano and Pavel here. This poor man, when he arrived, was immediately besieged by a vicious mob of children who immediately stole his items from him and release the cockatrices upon this town, which we very bravely handled. Blurso here did excellently. Pinkie Pie over here, your chick over there, not his fault at all. The brats, really.
Because
please-
yes, children are evil, of course.
Looks
I'm
over to
grateful
you.
for
Looks over to you, Hathor, and goes, "As someone who has raised 9 children, I can promise you that sometimes they are." Please give me that deception check with. Give me that deception check again, as Cash has helped you out. As she looks to you and
Alright.
goes, "The Honorable Viscount Cassiano Alwyn
Better
Pavel
roll.
III."
Yes, indeed.
What'd you get?
It's a 19 this
That's
time.
a 19. She looks.
I'm
and-
grateful for the help, but I don't know how I feel about the implication that I was easily overpowered by the children. So I kind of just nod along begrudgingly, I suppose.
I imagine Blurso when like Cassiano says it, it's just like,
I'm just like,
Still on the arm of Sherry, looks and goes, "I understand. Perhaps your arms are simply more used to unplugging corks within wine and not to carrying very large, heavy things. I understand." Excellent. Now, I must ask, looking over to you, Hathor. Looks
did
and
you perhaps fuck my son last night?
looks over to you, and you like not worried at all, but you recognize that as she looks at you, she truly has no idea who you are. The gossip of what occurred this morning has not traveled up to her level yet. As she goes, Sherry, do you know what this person's name is? The person with the gorgeous hair.
This is Hathor. Very skilled with that broom of hers.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes. Hello. My name is Hathor. Forgive me if I am unintentionally impolite. I was raised in a place much different from here, so.
She kind of looks to Sherry a little bit, and you kind of clock that she recognizes that you're not addressing her in a very formal way, and you're admitting your lack of manners to her, essentially.
Yeah.
As she goes, it kind of gives you a little bit of side-eye, Sherry, and goes, "Well, that is more than all right. That is more than all right. There is no better time to learn than the present. But you are very skilled with that broom of yours, aren't you?"
Yes, it was a gift from my mother.
Gift from your mother. Excellent. And, well, the Honorable Viscount, I have one question, as I apologize, Lady Hathor, but I do not believe I've heard many things about you. But the Honorable Viscountess Cassiano Alwyn Pavel III, I have heard that you are a traveled man as of recently. Is that correct?
yes, indeed. I have been. I was just moved to travel further in Allatour and see if I, with the skills and supplies I have been given by my family, hopefully bring some of that help to the country of Allatour.
Perfect. And where did you... I'm so sorry, my memory can be spotty. Where did you travel to again?
Oh, I recently found myself in the Palm, and it was certainly a bit of a chaotic trip, but I like to think that I perhaps made a difference in some people's lives. I would hope.
Oh, that is so wonderful to hear. Sherry, don't we oftentimes communicate with the Arbor, Iganturus, and the like? Is that correct?
Yes, your grace. Of course.
Still looking directly at you, Cass, as she goes, and Sherry, I believe we have actually received news recently of Cassiano's exploits within the Palm. Is that correct?
That would be correct, your grace.
Excellent. And I'm so sorry. Again, my memory is so spotty today. It must have been all the excitement. What was Cassiano doing within the Palm again?
If my memory of our records are correct, he was participating in a battle royale-esque arena fight with other participants in the Full Moon Festival at occurring in the pub.
Yes, the
Hathor starts to like giggle a little bit.
The fight in the moonlight, yes, and is now in the capital city of pirates. Is that where you learned the best strategy of tossing yourself off of 30-foot high drops?
The fight in the moonlight 'twas merely a fraction of things I did, a game to put myself to the test, to learn new skills from those who I had not fought from before. And actually, I was pushed from the broom by this person over here. So, simply doing my best with what I am working with.
While I was holding a child with both my hands.
Yes, you shoved me bodily from the broom. It was quite rude.
Well, surely a man of your supposed stature and rank and skill could have easily landed on his feet, right?
I was surprised.
Oh, yes.
In my
Darling, there's still a little bit of blood on your shirt. Let me just... And she will cast Mending on Cassiano's,
That's
thing.
quite good. I was distracted by my concern for this man here who was about to be gored by an ox. There was so much happening. There were extenuating circumstances.
It was selfless. It was a selfless action. I understand.
Selfless act.
Of course. Sherry.
Yes, Your Grace.
A viscount, a sommelier, and a charming drifter. Excellent company, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I would agree, Your Grace.
And although they are, well, physically capable, do you believe they are any threat to the LaCroix family?
No, no, Your Grace. If anything, I would say that they fought valiantly to defend House LaCroix.
Valiant fighters! Well, it is only customary that valiant fighters be rewarded for their efforts.
Yes, Your Grace.
Excellent. As she kind of like looks back, and Hathor, you're able to stare past Amelie, and you're able to see Khan just trying to wave you down outside the carriage. As she looks back and goes, as Palm looks to you, Sherry, and just like quickly just wags a handkerchief, just kind of like flagging you down, basically. As Amelie looks back and goes, and it seems that the other LaCroix, they seem to be getting a little bit restless. Are you all traveling eastward? Are you traveling to Jumelage for the Harvest Day Festival as well?
Indeed.
Yes. And you, Blurso?
I mean, I was going here to like open a restaurant, right? Is that? Will I be lying if I say yes?
So you came here to deliver the weapons to the general store.
You know what? I'm just gonna say yeah.
You're just
Imagine
you're
you're
fucking
just drenched in sweat.
This is the easiest question of like, hey, where are you going after this? Hey guys,
So much has happened today. Yeah, I like festivals. I'll go to this festival. Yeah, sure.
Amelie looks to you kind of like just saying that and goes, stop that. It's a calm conversation. Well,
okay.
Amelie kind of looks around and goes, perfect. Well, my feet are disgusting, and the bottom of my dress, the fluff of it is ruined. So I need a change of clothes, I need a hot bath and a hot meal, and I think the host is a bit tired as well. So why don't we all stop for the evening and... Well, and for your valiant efforts, I must say, the variedness of your behaviors, your abilities, and your ability to conversate has been sufficient enough that I would like to extend a royal invitation to join our host traveling east to Jumelage. Would that be acceptable to all of you?
I make an insight check on the boy.
On the fainted boy?
No. On the one who's waving at me.
Oh, yes, you can.
Cool. 17.
What do you want to gain from this?
He's not, like, in love with me, right?
in more like honeymoon period-esque of
Okay.
like not really. No, he's not like full on obsessed with you, but it's more just
Cool.
kind of like, oh, that super hot person I thought I'd never see again is right in front of me. Like I gotta shoot my shot, my guy.
She can respect that.
Yeah.
Cool.
This invitation extended. The responses.
I say, why, yes, absolutely. I would be honored. This is excellent.
Well, as somebody from the Arbor, it would be rude not to accept an invitation to a party.
Boy, I sure do love parties. Thank you.
I'm going to accept that as you giving me a yes.
I love
Yeah.
that you're a charisma caster and you're just like
I
people.
love him.
Yeah.
Well, I believe Blurso understands the way of navigating certain social situation as he understands how rude it would have been to reject such an offer.
Yes, yes, of course, Your Grace.
Of course. Well, Sherry, as much as I understand your support, I'm going to do my best to waddle my way over into the nearest clothing shop and get
Are
myself
you sure you
assorted.
do not need assistance, Your Grace?
She looks. She puts a hand on the underside of your forearm, looks at you, and goes, "I'm completely fine on my own." And you watch as the smile disappears from her face.
I meekly offer her shoes back.
You watch as she picks up her shoes and she hikes up her dress again and begins like waddling in the mud over, as she's not dressed for this kind of like environment at all, and begins walking off towards the nearest store. Yes, Hathor.
Can I do an insight check on the Duchess?
Yes, you can.
Can I also do that?
Yeah, no problem.
Natural 20
Nat
Hey,
20?
yo!
or 26.
8!
I mean, Cass, you've been riding for like 2 days, and you're saddle sore, and your horse has been a bitch the whole time.
God.
You're just happy that someone has offered you a carriage to ride the rest of the way. Hathor, you immediately get the sense that Amelie and Cherie have a rocky relationship. It is professional and it is rocky.
I am Amelie.
Amelie. I like this food, Amelie.
I'm on DVD, not on Blu-ray. You
I'm
can't
too
find
small,
me
you
on
cannot see
Blu-ray.
me. I get lost in the spindle.
And understanding the difficult social relationship between Sherry and Amelie, and understanding there's a deep and rich history with all of the LaCroix that you all soon have the ability to understand, we're going to take a quick break. Quick bathroom break, water break. That's the combat. We all having a good time.
Yeah.
Perfect, absolutely wonderful. And now I just want to ask real quick, do we want to go for a little bit longer after the break, or do we want to kind of call it quits? What do we want to do?
I'm good to keep going. I don't want to speak for everyone else.
We're not doing this until like fucking 1 in the morning, so don't worry. We're gonna be stopping at like 11:15. So
Okay.
Works for me.
okay, all good
All
then.
right.
Then let's take a quick break, and we will see you guys soon.
I got pee so bad.
I gotta piss.
I got
Go
pee so
piss,
bad.
girl.
Oh, nice private little moment. Oh, yeah. Everyone that's watching, you're super cool. We really appreciate it. We just got up to 28 subscribers on YouTube, and we really appreciate anybody engaging with this. You're all absolutely awesome, and we hope you keep coming back because we love doing this, and we love any kind of engagement you guys give us. So thank you so much. RP.
I'll put this in.
Oh, Darby, we are back. Also, Darby,
Ooh.
you're so small.
I'm so small. Oh no.
Goodbye, Cass.
Darbs, go.
Give me the highest voice you got, Darby. We actually
even
can't
proceed
hear
it.
it. It's so high.
Oh no. I'll try and do it louder.
Perfection.
With all that, we ready to hop back in?
Yay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
I'm just gonna
And
refill my water real
yes.
quick for this mistake.
My microphone looks so big compared to me.
Well, Moss, hit me with your highest voice.
I can't.
We all get hit by a fucking like. Imagine like Honey I Shrunk the Kids D&D of like. We're all so small.
Oh my goodness.
I just sounded like a fucking Animal Crossing character.
You did.
So good.
The text underneath me was give me.
Pay your.
The text underneath me was "Pay your rent or I come for your knees."
The text underneath was, the last time you were here was 2 years ago. Where have you been, buddy?
All of your friends have starved.
Elena proof. Elena proof.
I gotta send out the Doug video of when he played Animal Crossing and he literally fucking glassed the entire environment to. My arm is outside of my box. Glassed the entire environment to combat Tom Nook and his extortionist practices. Where?
Give me all your bells.
Go away!
Bills.
No! There.
Okay.
What the fuck? Why am I over here now? Go back. What the? My God, I'm so offset. Hold on, wait 1 second.
Slide to the left.
Wait, no, I don't want to slide anywhere.
Slide to the right.
Mercedes,
Take it
please.
back now.
Crisscross.
Cha-cha, rules move.
Stop defaulting to my fucking thing. Why does it move me? Stop moving the Drew cam. What are you doing?
Keep moving the Drew cam.
No, that's the opposite of what we want to happen. We should be good now. Hold on, wait. Let me move the Drew cam. Is Drew center? Drew is center. Excellent. Oh. All right, with all that, we're all ready to hop back in?
Yeah.
So,
Yah.
after your battle
Yar.
has been concluded,
Yar.
and after all of the LaCroix children disembark, they are able. You guys are able to spend a good few hours within the town, getting food, provisions, interacting with the locals, getting yourselves ready. And a couple things are going to happen. Number one, everyone here is able to take a long rest, and everybody here levels up to level 2, having survived the first combat encounter.
Bro.
You guys earned it. Yes,
Somebody get the nut button.
So you guys can level yourselves up as I just kind of narrate what happens in this little montage of being in the town.
Go ahead.
You guys, as you guys go to different like taverns and shops, Sherry kind of sticking close to the LaCroix, with Cass, Hawthorne, and Blur kind of just interacting with the townsfolk, maybe interacting with the guards, kind of, just making yourselves comfortable after a long time of travel. And as you guys are resting up and slowly getting more and more powerful, Blurso, you are actually able to see the man who runs the general store, a human man named Alistair, with a falconer's glove and an eagle perched on his arm. He's actually able to come up to you, and you two are able to have a very quick conversation. Alistair was the man you were supposed to deliver the magical items to.
Ah, cool. Do I have those on my person?
Yes, you're able to kind of cart those over. Some of the LaCroix guards are ordered by Georges and Amelie to come assist you with moving them over. Basically doing it in the proper, very careful way, which Bierhaze Basset was very unlikely to do, given just the way that he conducts his operations. And as you deliver that over, Alistair actually looks to you and goes,
Well, thank you, sir. The greatest apologies. It seems as though the figurines were not stored properly before they were shipped out. The intention behind them was to work as, I guess you would be able to say, attractions in a way? Demonstrations of how cockatrices operate in the environment, and honestly could have acted as a form of entertainment, a form of interactivity for those that wish to hunt and operate with them and observe them in the sense.
All right. Well, that would have been there's a much better uses for them than what they ended up doing today, for sure.
Certainly. I was personally hoping to use them as some kind of protection to accompany my company Houghton here. As he gestures to his eagle, the eagle goes, ah! The eagle just kind of cries out and goes, they could act as scouts and surveyors. The roads are more dangerous now than they were years ago, I shall tell you.
Interesting. I've already given him the cockatrices, right?
well, the cockatrices are destroyed.
I see.
They were basically like there was an official way of kind of retracting them back into that form that you were just never told, and so you just acted in the only way you knew how.
I guess I apologize for that. sorry about destroying them, but you know, it was in self-defense and all.
Oh, it simply shall come out of the budget and more be requested, and they shall be transported carefully, not through teleportation, and certainly not in open arms. But I will say that could have looked very bad upon the kind eagle, and so I think it would be best if we just kind of keep this between ourselves. Now, I know townspeople enjoy talking, but if not to ruin my reputation, may I give you something to guarantee silence?
Oh, sure. Wait, can I ask this guy, does this guy also work for Bjorhaze?
It doesn't
Like,
work.
directly?
There is a relationship between Bjorhaze and this guy, in how magical items get distributed out to shops to be bought by people.
All right, so I'm gonna take whatever he's paying me off with, but I'm gonna ask him, like, as I take it. So, what do we tell Bjorhaze happened to his cockatrices if he asks?
If we tell him the truth, I don't think anything would happen terribly so. Bjorhaze seems to be a glass half full kind of guy.
All right. We can go with that.
Of course, and also the creation of them seem to be easy, as they are not replications of the biological forms. They are merely imitations, but more similar to balloon animals in a way.
Huh. You know, I do a little bit of magic. I don't fully get all of that stuff.
If you would like to attempt to fix them yourself, you're more than welcome to.
Dang, you know, I don't think I actually want to do that. I think I've had enough of these birds for now.
Fair. But what are my manners? What I agreed on.
As he begins rooting around in his little pack, he pulls out a pendant. It is a pendant that is shaped with an oval. It is basically a granite oval, and then two pointed triangles on either side, and with a very thin triangle pointed down in the center of the center of this oval. You're able to recognize this as a very crude cartoonist drawing of a mouse. And as he hands it over, he goes,
"This is a pendant of cat friendliness."
Of cat friendliness?
Yes.
So if like if I'm wearing this pendant and there are stray cats around, they'll like be nice to me?
Put it on.
Oh, it's radical. I throw it on.
So you put it on?
I glance around to see if there are any stray cats in the area.
Awesome. You are able to watch as you were able to watch as 5 cats enter through the main door and 2 of the windows, and as they begin like rubbing up against you.
Dude, this is like the best item ever. Thank you.
But there are more applications than that, I can assure you.
You watch as Houghton, the eagle on his arm, goes, "Ah!" and like wants to like hunt and grab one of the cats as he goes, "Bad eagle, no!" And he kind of like just holds it and kind of pins it to his chest so it doesn't do that.
I mean, I'm playing with the cats at this point. I'm not
so
paying any attention to this man anymore.
There are 5 cats around you. You're petting them, and he goes,
Well, and it can do other things as well, but I don't think you need to use it for what else it can do. So why don't you just enjoy petting the cats?
All right.
As you complete your business, as he goes,
"And I bid you farewell."
As you play with the cats, walk outside. As long as you have the pendant on, the cats follow you around. As they just keep trotting after you.
Hooray.
And as you watch as the cats really like you, but they don't necessarily like each other, as 2 of them go, and they go into like that cat tumble fight. We cut away from you and we cut over to Cherie, Cass, and Hathor. As you guys are meandering around, you guys are actually approached by the townspeople. You're approached by the parents of the children which you saved. You're approached by random lookers on, and you're also approached by like different shop owners, and they look to you. And I'll say that Blurso is able to join you along with a bunch of cats just following him around now, and they assume you all are part of some kind of like roguish adventuring group told in fairy tales and stories. And they know that in ancient lore and legend, the best thing to do to, I guess, encourage repeat visits and encourage protection is to reward those travelers for saving their loved ones, their town, etc., etc. And over they hand to you into... Now, they do hand over certain coppers, silvers that were stashed away, but nothing even worth, like, writing down, as the amount of wealth that you guys are accustomed to kind of going through, it's pocket change, essentially. It means a lot, but it's not worth a lot, if that makes a lot of sense. However, what they are able to scrap together is they're able to hand you a pair of sending stones. So you got 2 sending stones, and they're also able to hand over to you a compass called the Envisioner's Compass. Now, would you like me to read what they do, or would you prefer to hit the road?
Please read what they do.
Yeah, I want to know what they do.
Sending stones are walkie-talkies. Don't really need to go into that. We've been using those.
We know that.
We've been using those for fucking ever. The Envisioner's Compass. And I will also send this out so we all remember, but it's also in video, so who knows. While holding this compass, you can use your action to set a compass course to a location, object, or creature that is on the same plane of existence as you. The compass needle points in the direction of the target for 24 hours or until this property is used again. If the creature or object can't be targeted by divination magic or be perceived through magical scrying sensors, the attempt to set a course to it automatically fails. Once used, this property can't be used again until the next day. It's a way
That's very cool.
It's a way of finding your way around, and it's also a pair of sending stones to help you chat with each other, as they assume that you guys will be traveling together and need to talk to each other across long distances.
Taking like these gifts, Sherry will clasp the hands of these townsfolk and say, "Thank you. There really is no need for any of this. We're just glad we were there at the right time."
Sherry, you're kind of like very stock, very staunch and strong presence. As you say that, a halfling woman grips your hand and is just shaking it. And as you're kind of like saying this very calmly, she's like, "My baby could have died, and you just hit me. I'm just so happy you were able to."
Does not know how to handle those big emotions. Just shakes her hand while she speaks, like, an elf
named Fanny approaches you, Cass, and comes to shake your hand and say thank you personally, and goes, "Well, I must say, an excellent display of combat, of strategy. Even if no one else knew what you were doing, you clearly did, and that's all that people can ask for. Excellent job, thank you."
Of course, just gotta, keep everyone on their toes. The Viscount, the Honorable Viscount Castellano Alwyn Pavel, tell your friends. Really, we are just honored that we could be the heroes that you needed. We're all quite close, adventuring party for many months now. Just, we've really all come to read each other's minds in combat. It's a beautiful thing, I have to say.
Hathor's just standing back, leaning against a doorframe, just
as a tear forms in her eye. And she goes, "Just like the stories of old that Mother used to tell me, but 200 years ago. It is like I'm living in a storybook. Well, thank you once again."
You are very welcome.
And you watch as just a tear begins to fall down a very calm elven way. Says goodbye, turns, walks away. Hathor, a small little goblin, comes up to you and begins shaking your hands and goes,
"Well, I really do appreciate everything. Thank you."
"Oh, well, of course. Happy to help."
Of course. And if you ever need a bar to fall in for an evening or just want to talk, make sure to check out my fine mug.
Absolutely. Do you have a piece of paper you can write it down on for me?
Here.
Takes the paper and goes,
"Gonna shoot you straight. Don't know how to write. Know how to read, weirdly enough. Can't reproduce it, though."
Oh, perfect. Maybe, sometime if you're free, we can figure that out.
Green goblin face goes red in the cheeks and goes, No words, just
What's your name
flabbergasted.
again?
Russ. My name is Russ.
Excellent.
And your name is Hathor.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's hot. I'm gonna go. I think there's a lot of people in here. I'm just gonna go outside for a little bit.
Oh, sure. Take your time.
And walks outside. The townsfolk very appreciative of you guys. As everybody is called back together, as the day turns to night and the night turns to day, everybody well rested. You are all able to assort yourself among the varying carriages of the LaCroix host as you hear "Hyah!" as the host begins to travel further east from Vacan, about 3 or 4 days' time, and in all of the comfort you could ask for, you will arrive at Jumelage, the capital city of Allatour. With that, I will allow you guys to RP with whoever you want from the LaCroix entourage and place yourself in whatever carriages you want and experience whatever happens here, because time's getting a little weird as we kind of hop into a montage of you guys traveling and kind of speaking to whoever you want. Just hopping in, is there any conversations you would like to have with each other or any of the LaCroix entourage as you guys are traveling?
I mean, I gotta, but I can wait.
Well, I was gonna say, like, as we were configuring where everyone would go, I
You gonna cock block?
no, quite the opposite. I think Shuri would call over Lord Khan LaCroix and say, Lord Khan, people will need to make room for our guests on this journey. Lord Khan, I'm assuming you have room in your carriage?
As you're saying that, he goes, "But yes, of course I have room in my carriage. I could fit 100 people in my carriage. Well, of course I could comfortably."
Not sure how true this, but Lady Hathor, would you mind? Wonderful, and the rest of you can offer yourselves and seat yourselves accordingly.
Yeah, for sure.
Make sure your coccyx isn't broken, Cass. Just, you fell really hard yesterday.
I am healed up just fine. Go have fun with your seltzer boy.
In universe, they're made fun of for being seltzer water.
Saint-Pierre looks at you and goes like, "The forbidden magic of the watery water bubbles? How could you mention
The
this?
spicy water?
I do not know what you are referring to of this seltzer.
I've only met him in passing from afar, but he seems like a real watery boy. Nothing to do with whatever his name might be. I don't know what you're talking about.
Honorable Viscount Cassiano and Pavel, would you like to ride with myself and Sir Saint-Pierre?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to ask you some questions about that sword. You're very good with that.
Thank you. You are too kind.
Should I give you all my weapons now? Or...
I don't look to Duke LaCroix. I don't believe that'll be necessary as long as you use them accordingly, but you are valiant warriors, protectors of House LaCroix. I trust you to use them honorably.
Oh, yes. As a priestess, do no harm.
You're a priestess.
Yes, is that so surprising?
Just, you are much bubblier than priestesses I have known.
You really like that metaphor.
I keep landing there. It's not intentional.
Also, I feel so bad for the priestesses, They sound like they, maybe they need a good meeting. Yeah. Maybe?
Mr. Bummerdinger, you're welcome to ride with myself and the Honorable Viscount and Sir Saint-Pierre as well, unless one of the children would be kind enough to offer to share their carriage with you.
Thank you. That will be most accommodating accommodations.
You're all like crammed into one carriage.
So it is. So let me just read this off real quick. So it is Hathor with Khan, and then it is Blurso, Sherry, Cass, Saint Pierre,
Do you
Amelie,
guys not
and
like me or
Georges.
something?
Are they? And I didn't know that the rest of the people were.
So Saint Pierre is riding with the Duke, and the Duke is riding with Amelie.
Oh.
Makes sense.
Fuck.
Okay.
So I guess you guys have to pick another relatively empty carriage to go.
Wait, sorry. Saint Pierre is riding with the Duke,
Yes.
and the Duke is riding with Amelie.
Yeah. So they're all in the same carriage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I assumed.
Yeah. And
I
so-
mean, I'm gonna go elsewhere, but I would start off with the Duke and the Duchess.
excellent.
Seems like a pretty crowded carriage.
It's big.
Yeah,
It's the main
we
carriage.
hard cut, and you're all like knocking into
Like
each
the
other.
grandparents and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory were just like, good night.
It's cut to like you on the airplane and the kids kicking your seat behind you.
Yeah.
The fucking...
I was gonna.
Oh, no, what's up?
I was gonna say my plan was to steal Saint Pierre's bed, but now that I know the Duke and Duchess are also in that carriage, I don't think I'm gonna do that.
What were you going to steal?
Saint Pierre's bed.
Bed. Oh, okay.
I don't know if are there beds? Are we sleeping bag
You
situation?
guys are knocking into each other, like fully, like shoulder, like you're overlapping shoulders, like it's the back seat of a car. And
Oh
Zombie's like,
God.
"You understand that we don't make camp for another 3 hours? What do you mean steal my bed?"
So I imagine Zombie
This is-
being like, "Can we roll down a window? I'm terribly
for-
car
I-
sick."
I wanted to give Darby a chance to speak, but Amelie is fully like, "Can we open up a fucking window or
This
something?"
is more
It
cramped than I imagined. Perhaps we shall move into another carriage so as to not burden the Duke and the Duchess.
Yeah, George is
that.
like George is like has his shirt unbuttoned like down to like right above his belly button, so you like you can see like a well-defined like set of pectorals, a little bit of abs peeking out. As he's like, "Sherry, I must say, it is usually so wonderful. You are so incredibly broad. It is hard to sit next to you."
Yes,
I'm going to be honest.
I apologize. I apologize for extending the courtesies of House LaCroix too far. We will find another carriage to fit ourselves in.
Amelie just goes like, "No, don't apologize for the pleasantries. It's just we need to work this out a little bit. Stop the carriage. We're letting 2 people out." It stops, and you guys are able to. This is a whole fucking event, by the way, as you guys are able to figure out the seating arrangements of this one carriage. As that happens,
Meanwhile, like Hathor's just like stretched out on one side of the carriage.
no, for real. Hathor, you're on one section of like the bench that you basically it's like the padded benches with like like ornate like labbed silk curtains, and then there's like a specific like metal like chilled cooler full of drinks and a full of like water and things. And as you are on one side and Khan is on the other side, like kind of in that like picture pose where like his one knee is up and his other leg's like hanging off as he's like, "So we find ourselves here once again, don't we?"
She like opens the window a little bit to let some air in. She's like, yeah, I suppose so.
He sees you over the window. He goes, "Well, is it too hot in here for you?" As he just takes off one silk glove and puts it on the floor.
Sorry. Who wears silk gloves in a carriage?
Nobles,
Bouncer
baby.
boys.
Nobles, baby.
No, Moss, we gotta focus. You gotta flirt with me. Oh shit, I'm sweating. This is so fucking funny.
Me too.
Oh, it seems we are unable to compose ourselves. Should I remove
Shut
my
up.
other?
I got it.
Should I remove my other silk glove?
Darling, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Your physical attributes are much better without clothes. So if you you don't have to. You don't have to do all of this. You can just be yourself. I find that just as attractive.
I'm unsure what to do now.
I've got it. And she will fully like just straddle him and start taking his clothes off.
As you start taking his clothes off, we
are not going to rock the carriage. That would be rude.
quite. DM. I am so fucking happy that you said that because we were about to cut over back to the cramped carriage and Amelie just look out and just fucking see the carriage rocking
The
back.
window's steamed up like in Titanic.
Oh my god! What?
It's already steamed up. It's fucking.
No, I opened a window.
But you closed it back up to steam it so you could slap your hand against.
So we really all independently chose to go along with horribly crowded arrangements just so that one of the carriages could be the sex carriage.
I'm gonna say.
There are 9 children. There were 7 other carriages you guys could have sat in.
I did not want to impose upon the children of House LaCroix, but now that I understand the mistake of my decisions, Mr. Bombardier, I think you would be well fit with the Lord Coco and his carriage. The Honorable Viscount Cassiano Owen Pavel, I think you would be very well suited with Lord Poir LaCroix, and I will find myself somewhere.
All right, just anything for a more spacious arrangement.
Yes, I apologize for cramming you all like that. That was a gross understatement of the space of the carriages of House LaCroix. I think you'll be much more comfortable there, or you are free to roam wherever you see fit. I am going to check in with the Duke and Duchess. Apologies again, and if you need me, I will be in one of these carriages, most likely with the Duke and Duchess.
I just imagine like the Duke, like the way when you get car sick, where you're like, I have to go completely limp.
He sticks his head out the window like a dog.
Amelie is like, Sherry, get some of these people out of here.
I am working on Your Grace. I am deeply apologetic. I will walk beside the carriage if that will make up for my errors.
Amelie says nothing, and Georges goes, that would not be necessary. Just let's make some room in here, open some windows. Yes, you guys are able to figure out all of your arrangements there, as both. And Kate, just remember real quick who you assigned Cass, and...
I assigned Blerceau to Lord Coco LaCroix, and Lord... the Honorable Viscount Cassiano Owen Pavel, to Lord Poir LaCroix.
Poir LaCroix. We will actually quickly then, as all that gets sorted out, Sherry will touch on you in just 1 second. As you, Cass, are able to step into Poir LaCroix's... I don't actually have a picture of Poir up. Kate, would you be able to describe to me Poir LaCroix?
Hold on, I can do you one better. I can send in the... Do you have access to the Discord?
Yes, I do.
Drew? Okay, let me...
Oh, and also I'll show off, that's Amelie. If anyone's wondering what Amelie looks like. Thin face, red earrings, blonde hair, silver crown.
Amelie.
Looks
I have a
wonderful.
spoon for my egg dinner. Blerceau and I climb out of the carriage to go to the other ones. I turn to him and I say, I'm gonna be real with you. I ended up in there because I did not know anyone else's names. I
kind of just went where I was pointed to go.
Yeah. Lord Poir. Ooh.
Just send in the Discord, Drew.
Cass, as you step into Poir LaCroix's basically like a carriage temporary domicile, you were able to see that he... Give me a quick insight check real quick. As you see that he is very slender, you're able to see kind of like very pronounced cheekbones, green eyes, long red hair into a braid. You're able to see that sleeveless shirt on, like definitely not nobly dressed. This seems like some kind of royal hunter. This as if almost as if Poir is responsible for going with hunting parties to secure food when you guys stop for your rests.
Oh, very cool. I'm just writing down his name because I spelled it so wrong.
I was saying it wrong.
Insight. 2.
We just knew one thing. This person is currently, their carriage is laid with more knowledge than anything else. As you're able to see private small bookshelves lining one of the walls, and you're also able to see that in their hand, as you two sit across from each other, as you guys make your official greetings, as you're able to watch as he goes, Poir LaCroix, and shakes your hand.
Honorable Viscount Cassiano Owen Pavel. Pleasure to meet you.
I would, kind of looks to you, he kind of cocks his head and goes, a farmer's son. You work with
indeed.
Animals, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I would love to hear your insights on different hunting methods that I have, because you understand grazing, the different kind of patterns of animals. You understand breeding, things like that. Yes?
Yes, all within my purview. I perhaps might be. I have been traveling away from the animals for a period of time, so I may be a little rusty. I will warn you.
I have been not an issue at all, for I have actually been tracking to the best of my ability different monsters seen in the regions to the east, towards your sister castle, I believe. Perhaps that may be an issue on the cows trail, the boars trail, things like that. So we can discuss. Please come sit. And making that connection of animals happily invites you in. And as you are sitting in this carriage with him, give me a quick investigation check of just what's in this place. Bless you, Kate.
Thank you.
9.
A 9?
Yeah.
With a 9, I will say, because it's easy enough to spot, there is assorted books of differing lengths, most of them involving animal biology in terms of but not animal biology in terms of learning it for a scientific sense, in terms of it's almost like hunting documents of how do these things operate when they are prowling, hunting, where do they nest themselves, where do they find it, how do they breed their young, things like that. But as you're looking around, you are actually able to see one scroll atop a bookshelf, kind of sandwiched in between the top section of books and the roof of the bookshelf. And it has a broken wax seal on the front, and you would understand this as an update document kind of sent out maybe once a week, maybe every several days, concerning different odd jobs, advertisements, things of the sort, maybe different stories, kind of news, trying to just keep generally just people in the loop. Now, you usually don't see this within noble areas. You certainly have not seen it with your time here. It almost seems like Poir enjoys immersing himself in knowledge, even quote unquote beneath his station. Make sense?
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. And then, I guess seeing that scroll, to kind of point it out and say, do you mind if I look at this real quick?
Please go right ahead. I'll search for the natural predators of the cow, and then we'll go from there. You're able to grab the scroll, and he's able to go to the bookshelf, and you guys kind of separate for a little bit.
Yeah. Is there anything of note in the scroll?
You're able to see several kind of, instead of having bounty boards, advertisements for general field hand work, advertisements in need of washerwomen in terms of wet nurses for children, things of the sort. You're then also able to see lists of notices of criminals seen in the area, monsters seen prowling, avoid this bridge, detachment of soldiers or mercenaries needed, and etc. And then at the very bottom, you're then able to see a very large advertisement for someone named the Candle Maker.
Okay.
As the carriage just kind of rattles as you guys hit a bump, Poir kind of stumbles back a little bit, sees that you have the scroll, and goes, "Anything of interest?"
The usual. odd jobs, things of the sort. Can I make an insight check on Poir? He seems very into like hunting and like livestock and those kinds of things. This is maybe a long shot. Can I get any inclination from him on how he feels about like the arcane, the magical, like if there's anything lying around?
Sure.
I don't know.
Give me an insight check.
I don't know what I'm looking for, but no, freaking 5, rolling dog shit.
5. I mean, like you're able to clock him as a ranger, but past his understanding of like being able to channel that kind of natural energy into magic, you don't really. I mean, there's no way of telling that from him. Just looking at him.
Okay. I will, holding the scroll, I will say to him, do you mind terribly if I hold on to this? There are some jobs and some information that I am interested in following up on, maybe showing to the rest of my party, the like.
Looks to you and goes, certainly go ahead and take it. Already read through all of it. Nothing that works for me personally. Give me an insight check as he says that to you.
Oh, okay. 17.
17?
Above a 10. Let's freaking go.
Something within that something within that paper rubs him the wrong way.
Oh,
and I will give you a proper description of what's in the paper. I do not have it with me right now, but I'll be able to give that to you before next session. Make sense?
Yeah. Then I will then picking up on that, actually, I will say that odd advertisement at the bottom, the candle maker. What do you make of that?
Poir grabs a book out of the bookshelf. It's labeled Bovine Battles. As he sits across from you in the carriage, maybe only like 3-4 feet in between you. As he looks to you and goes, in all honesty, it's not for me. It's not for me.
Fair enough. I'm merely fascinated. They just seem different. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
It is. I mean, I guess it's sad that the world is coming to a point where it's easier to pay to be a good person rather than just be a good person.
Yeah. And I say, when I say fascinated, it is more of an intellectual curiosity of how political machinations become greased.
People talk and cogs are greased and the machine continues to turn, and I just prefer being out hunting foxes. It's easy when I'm on my own, reading, I see something, I need to eat, I shoot it. I'm not one to really think that much about anything else.
I feel similarly. The farm is where I feel most at home.
Poir looks at your hand and sees the teeth marks from the cow and goes, clearly, and there are risks associated. Is your hand all right?
Oh, yes, of course. A particularly frisky cow that I was helping with this morning. He was in a great deal of pain, I believe. And I'm trying to recall what the woman said. It was hoof mold. A terrible case of hoof mold.
Poir looks at you and goes, exactly why I wanted to talk to you. I haven't heard of hoof mold yet. What is hoof mold?
It's when the inside gets all moldy and it smells so terrible that the animals become distressed that it is following them as they walk.
This might require note, as I don't think this is public knowledge of any other farms or any kind of like animal husbandry. So it's not a cavity, correct? It's mold that just smells bad.
Yeah. Yes.
Your mind is fascinating. I cannot wait to hear everything you have to say. I mean, give me, as he pulls out a separate blank notebook and goes, in great detail, describe how it was treated, describe the animal's condition. I would love to pass this along.
Of course.
We then cut away. From there, we cut over to Sherry. Sherry, where do you find yourself?
Once everyone's situated in their respective carriages, I return to the carriage with Sir Saint-Pierre and the Duke and Duchess LaCroix, and bow deeply before the Duke and Duchess and say, I want to again formally apologize for my gross abuse of the hospitality of this carriage of yours, and not taking advantage of the many other carriages in this convoy, and what was a gross understatement of myself, and am willing to do whatever it takes to make it up to you on this journey to Jumelage.
Saint-Pierre crosses his arms and goes, your apology is accepted.
Just side-eyes him, like, doesn't say it, but was like, was not bowing to you, my guy.
Bombastic side eye,
Yeah.
absolutely. As the Duke and the Duchess, Georges looks to you and goes, Sherry, it is no problem at all. If anything, you just wanted us to get acclimated with your combat partners, but traveling companions of us all now.
Of course. Yes, I do not know yet what to make of them, but they proved themselves in town today, and I'm sure I will learn more of them in time. Unless my presence is required, I would not want to be remiss of my duties and making sure that the rest of the children are quite all right before we continue on.
Georges looks to you and goes, Sherry, as I understand it, you have been taking exceptional care of every single LaCroix for the last several years. I heard you even gave Palm private viol lessons not a few days ago. That is incredible. I did not even know you could play. You must teach me sometime.
Of course, Your Grace. I would be happy to.
That is fantastic. Amelie, anything that you require of Sherry?
Amelie looks and goes,
No, sir, I don't require anything of you right now. Thank you for all your services, though.
Of course, Your Grace. I will return. I will return quietly as to not wake you if you are asleep when I return. But just to be sure, I will make the rounds and check on the children to make sure that they are traveling comfortably.
Everyone nods, accepts that. Amelie, as you get up, she turns in her seat and she kind of like lays the back of her head across the Duke's lap as you exit out of the carriage.
Mm-hmm. And I do make the rounds, just walking alongside the convoy, just like going from like the back to the front, knocking on each of the carriages, making sure that everyone is in there and is doing well, going from the youngest to the oldest, so that
Hathor will pop her head out and be like, "Yes, do you need something?"
Nope.
Oh.
Make sure everyone's accounted for.
Sure thing. He's still alive. Don't worry.
I just keep going. Just doing a head count, making sure everyone's accounted for.
Hey, yo.
Shut up. No, I do
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. I do end up at Palm's carriage.
End up at Palm's carriage. Palm opens up the door. She's in her travel wear, the same that you helped her get out of, but not several days ago, as she welcomes you into the carriage and goes,
Sherry, yes, of course, come in.
And
Are you sure? I was merely doing a head count. I don't want to impose.
She looks at you, her eyes, she blinks longingly a few times and goes,
Oh, but of course,
as she kind of like looks up and down, like very subtly, and goes,
only a head count, of course. enjoy the rest of your duties, and
She looks at you and goes,
but I would love to get your knowledge of the battle from earlier today if you wanted to stop by when you are done with your rounds.
Well, this is my last stop, so if it is not, I don't want to impose upon your privacy. But I'd be happy to. If it's not at all a burden.
she takes out a little pocket watch and puts it back and goes,
A little chat would be okay.
Very well, then hoists herself into the moving
the whole fucking thing just spins back and forth. You hop into the carriage. What do you want to say to Palm?
Well, first of all, I close the door, and this is out of character. I don't know how convoys work. Like, this carriage is like its own thing, right?
Yes.
It's not like a train car where
it's 2 horses carriage, 2 horses carriage. It is.
Okay.
They are separate. There are probably around like maybe I'd say a dozen, maybe 2 dozen guards just kind of lining the outside because this is there's some very important people here. But you have they are spaced out. You have the privacy to interact in whatever way you would want.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then with that, before I got in the carriage, as I was making the rounds, I nodded to each of the guardsmen and let them know they were doing a good job.
Sir, thank you. Much appreciated. Should be a quiet evening. Easy travels to the capital.
Wonderful. Keep up the good work.
Of course, sir. As they look forward, as you step in, anything you want to say to Palm?
Just quick, looking left, looking right, looking left again, make sure like no one's eaves peeping.
No. It should be fine.
Then, not fully, but like drops the formality of it, sits across from her and says, "What do you wish to know?"
She kind of like turns her shoulders to you a bit, kind of points her head down and goes,
Well, from all of the townspeople in Vacan, I heard tales of your strength, of your speed, of your dexterity.
Townsfolk love to exaggerate events, degenerate gossip. I merely saw the House LaCroix in danger, and it is my duty to protect. And I did.
She gets up off of her side of the carriage and sits next to you, and she puts just like a hand on your knee and goes,
I understand that Saint-Pierre can be difficult. You do an exceptional job every day.
Difficult is not a word I would use. We have the same goals in mind. He's been here longer than I have, and I can't hold that against him.
He is a worn breastplate. He is reliable, but he is coarse to the touch.
Those are your words. Not mine.
Well, call me a rattlesnake because I just spit venom. Oh.
very.
Oh, would you like that to get out about you, that the Lady Palm is not as sweet as she appears to be?
Oh, well, how will I ever find... And then she stops herself very quickly, not finishing that thought, and goes...
No, but I don't... Well, perhaps I need to assert myself a bit more when it comes to that.
It fits you well.
Palm smiles gently, and then she leans in to kiss you.
I take her chin in my hand and tilt her head up and kiss her.
A very gentle kiss. 2-3 seconds go by. She pulls back and goes,
I should be getting to bed. We shall reach the capital in the morning.
Yes, and I told the Duke and Duchess that I would be returning to their carriage, so I don't want to be getting back too late, but...
She puts a hand on your back, she pulls you into a hug, and she goes,
I do enjoy our chats. Thank you for stopping by.
As do I,
Hmm.
my lady.
Sherry. Gentle kiss on the cheek. She lets go, and then she begins preparing herself to go to bed.
I excuse myself to give her her privacy, and I exit the carriage and quietly return to the Duke and Duchess and Saint Pierre's carriage so as to not disturb them.
Quietly, you are able to enter in. As the convoy stops for the evening, those with carriages, with private carriages, are able to sleep, pull out cots. Those which are in several packed carriages are able to quickly just erect very simple tents and begin sleeping outside. Yes, I said the word.
Ayo! Ayo!
Erections in Allatour. From who? As the carriage has stopped, as the convoy has stopped for the night. Thank you, Tony. Blue. So, any conversations that wish to be had?
I will say Sherry did assign you to Lord Coco's chamber, or carriage, if that helps you in any way.
All right. So to be real, Lorceau isn't really much of the starting conversation type, but okay. So this Coco, you said his name was?
Yes.
Lorceau?
Yes.
All right. So have we been like? Just a question about how the carriages work. Have we been essentially in like the same room this entire time?
Functionally, yes, but because you are an honored guest, there is no requirement for conversation.
Alright, and also, what do I know about Coco as a person?
Coco is the...
I can send his picture in the Discord so you have a visual aid.
Certainly send the picture. Yes, I believe he is the pudgier individual, blonde hair as well. I believe he's the youngest, correct?
No, he's the second oldest.
Oh, right. Sorry, I got that. Backwards.
I just sent it in the Discord if you want to pull that up.
Second oldest, a pudgier man, certainly comfortable. Currently in his nightly gown of like soft silken clothing, a shawl kind of across his shoulders. As you are able to see, he sets out an elaborate array of desserts and some small little cups of espresso in tin traveling ware that has clearly weathered through extended use. As you are able to watch him kind of sit down for this little feast.
I guess I'll kind of sit down next to him. If I have any food of my own, I guess I'll munch on it as well. And then I'll ask him. So, you're Coco, was it?
Yes.
Several hours have passed in silence.
Yes. Coco LaCroix, yes.
So, LaCroix, what's that like?
Being the name or my family?
Just like, yeah, your experience as a member of the LaCroix. Like, how's that all going?
He raises up a lemon cake on a small ceramic plate and goes, "Well, I've gotten accustomed to the sweeter things in life." Takes a bite and goes, "But in all seriousness, it has been a wonderful upbringing and elaborate preparations for me to one day take the seat of my father. Interacting with merchants, selling all things from fruits to sugars to wines and things of the sort. I talk to many people, and I like to believe people like talking to me. Would you like a slice of pie?"
Oh, I would love a slice of pie. Thank you so much.
There you are.
I'll look down at whenever I'm eating and offer him some of it.
You offer him some of the pie that he gives to you.
Oh, no, I was... Have we been like packing our own food? Would I have like my own food on my person or not?
No, because you came here randomly and unexpectedly. You got teleported here, and so you just been kind of snacking with whatever they've brought.
All right, never mind. I will take the pie then and just eat the pie.
Delicious, very sweet. It's blueberries stuffed inside of cherries, stuffed inside of strawberries. It's just a wonderful amount of flavor.
Very sweet. Many things going on in this pie. Wonderful, excellent. Did you make this yourself?
I actually did. I am one to prepare my own.
Yeah.
I like to dabble in the kitchens.
Dabble you do indeed. I'm at this point struggling to think of things to say to this or ask this person just to relate to nobility and like the class gap, I guess.
Well, he looks to you and goes, well, I must say that I am incredibly rude because if I have been correct, I've been informed I am talking with a sommelier. Is that correct?
Yes, I am a sommelier.
Well, that is wonderful. I am... how rude of me. Please, what would be the best dessert wine to pair with the sweet treat which you are eating now? I can have it pulled from my own private collection.
Right. Let me channel my sommelier senses. I taste in this dish some, I believe, blueberry, some cherry, some apple. So to pair with the sweetness of this, we would like a wine to cut through it, to contrast and accentuate the sweetness. So you're going to want something strong. So a good Chardonnay from an old Chardonnay. That's my recommendation.
His eyes go wide as he goes, what sorcery do you possess to go into my mind and pull a thought out and speak it off of your tongue? Sir! Bring me the best Chardonnay we have. I
love the idea that Blur Salt just is a terrible sommelier, but we accidentally what's that one story that maid who like takes everything literally, but like makes
Amelia
really good.
Bedelia.
Yes, just Amelia Bedelia's its way into a success.
Not how I'm thinking about him, but interesting.
And like as he pours you both a glass of this Chardonnay wine, which I don't know if that pairs with dessert well. I can't say I'm a very big like wine pairing kind of guy. But then we were going to snap cut to the end of the bottle where you two were able to drink the entire bottle of wine as
cinematic.
As he looks to you,
lads,
a little bit like more drunk than you were before. As he goes, and then I said to him, 4 more. Chateau Renoir was a treat. Have you ever been?
I have not, but it does sound most delightful.
Well, of course, the best chefs I could possibly imagine. They are actually catering the event. They cater every harvest day, and the culinary concoctions you will experience are going to put... They're going to kill me. I'm going to die in a couple days.
Oh, fuck. Shit, I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't happen.
Just the crispness of the fuck. That was so good. Jesus. But in all seriousness, I'm sorry. I just fully broke. Wow.
No, it's good. We love receiving real-time feedback so we can evolve our performance with it.
So good.
But in
generation,
this is the comedy campaign. Yeah, this is wonderful. But in all seriousness, but speaking of death, I cannot even imagine how my stomach will feel in the next few hours. So I believe rest to heal and burn off some of the alcohol might be the best thing for both of us.
Yes, of course. I agree.
As he looks down to his spread, he stands up as he goes, whatever you wish to eat is yours, and Blesso, correct?
Yeah. Your name was Coco.
Coco, indeed, yes. I am so happy to have a sommelier on call for the journey, and I want only your recommendations for the festival.
Guess I'm on call for the journey. All right, yeah.
But you will be treated as a hero, certainly. Well, I will have a plaque made in your honor. As he gets up and walks away from the table.
Bye. I look at all the food that's still left on the table and kind of just like lie down onto it and just like snake my way over to whatever's there and nom nom nom.
And as
I'm also going to acknowledge now that there's a break. I really just like forgot that if I want the bit to be that I'm saying something under my breath only to myself that the other characters can't hear, I still have to say it out loud for the other people to hear. the audience.
But as
You're learning. You're doing an incredible job.
exactly,
In real time, I was too in character. I
Blur's-
simply forgot.
Blurso, as you hit the table, immediately ruin whatever clothing you're wearing, as juices from so many pies begin squirting up into your eyes and your mouth and your clothing, as mimosas and orange juice and wine and cake begins to fall all over you. We are able to cut to the morning, where as the sun, as you guys have all begun riding before even the sun has risen, you all begin traveling east as you are only 15, maybe 30 miles out from the capital city of Jumelage. And as the sun begins to rise in the east, you see the most glorious city you have laid eyes upon, maybe some of you for the first time. It comes into view, and a grand description of what falls upon your gaze will occur next time, as we're going to end tonight's session there. Oh.
That was so much fun.
Ladies and
So
gentlemen, are we all having a
good.
good time?
Yes.
Yes, and yes.
Oh my god.
And the music just timed out. That was perfect. Oh my god, what a time! You guys are so good at roleplay, goddamn.
Hey,
Right back at you, buddy.
Oh yeah. I shit you not, the interaction between Palm and Cherie gave me butterflies.
Aw.
I like felt my tummy go like ooh when like Palm sat down next to me. I was like, oh my god, it's happening! It's happening!
Aw. Yeah, that's incredible.
You guys are so for a couple that's been together for 7 years. You guys are really fucking good at pining. Five. Jesus Christ! I meant to say five. Where did 7 come from? My bad.
I mean, not
Guys
far
are-
off.
Yeah.
You guys are really fucking good at pining. So
What is pining?
yeah.
It's like before, like you're dating, when it's another word for like having feelings for someone.
Oh, like flirting, basically.
No,
like
being like
pining
oh.
after someone.
Oh.
I hope they
Like when you have
me.
feelings for someone and like they don't know yet and you don't want to say anything yet, so you're just like, ah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, got it. It is, well, yeah, well, you know, I love her. I love her a lot. and also, she's just like outside of that all. Kate, you're just good at what you do. You're very.
You're
good.
also good at what you do.
I'd
be nowhere without you.
I'm just a little guy.
I'm also just a little guy.
No, I just say words. You have to listen and respond. Good God, what else can you do?
Oh my god, it's like the same thing goes for me.
No, and I will also say that this is like the fucking comedy campaign as well, because that is the the funniest fucking shit in the world of just the mental image of Hathor being like, shut the fuck up, get your pants off. Like, I just love it being like, you don't know how to flirt. This is, you're wearing 80 layers. It is 90 degrees in here.
It's gonna take forever.
My glove. My glove.
Listen, we only have
Ooh,
a
my glove.
truly,
my glove.
Hathor is sitting there just being like, don't facepalm, don't facepalm, it'll break his little heart. Don't do it.
Truly,
She like fully was just like, all right, let's go.
Con LaCroix is how we all thought. At least, like, I can speak from the male perspective, how boys see themselves when they're like a freshman, sophomore in high school. Like, right when they're like coming off the tail end of puberty, and they're like, I'm the slyest guy around. And it's like,
Hey, yo,
like-
can we age him up a little bit?
No. Like he is older. Like, I believe he's like 20, 23 years old, 24 years old.
He's hold on. I have the
Please.
numbers.
Please.
He's 29.
29.
Oh,
No, of course, yes. Everyone that is going to live or die in this game or is going to do anything is like 25 and up easily.
Yeah, the youngest person in the LaCroix family is 25.
Nice.
But yeah, like for him, it's the idea of like, I am just so hot and just everything I say is so smooth. And then when you like, it's almost like when you're able to save texts from like years ago and you look back at like how you used to text like a partner or whatever, and you're like, oh God,
Yeah.
the fuck was I on?
Yep. I like how Hathor is 23, almost 24, and it's just like, listen, you have no riz. I'm gonna teach you.
Negative riz, truly.
We've got it where it counts, but the build up, we gotta work on it.
And also, I will say, Tony, I think it speaks to the lifetime of friendship that we have, where with 2 words, you can make me fully like start tearing up with laughter. Like you always come in and you're like, oh, am I doing a good job? Like, oh my god, like what's going on? And then you have the funniest fucking roleplay I've ever
so
experienced.
funny.
It's so good.
I'm so pissed
So
and so
good.
proud of you at the same
Robert.
time, dude. Ugh.
The
This is
only
like your
weakness-
second time doing this live.
The only weakness is that I like necessarily have to spend like a full minute beforehand just asking background questions so I
fine.
can give myself something to work with.
It's so worth it. It's so worth it to watch you just be like,
Ah,
oh
yeah.
fuck,
I could watch the 2 of you roleplay for hours.
for hours.
Also, shout out to the game 4 more.
I'd also like to say, role playing as drunkenness on the alcohol. That was the fun.
So good.
And also like jumping in and out of character just to like ask out of character questions. Like, okay, I have to make myself
That's
look.
part of the game, buddy.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Can I just say though, fucking Cassiano is
My poor little
I
meow
know
meow.
I know I yes. I realize how trash me as Moss is for liking him. But you are like Darbs, the way you can have such distinct different characters blows my fucking mind because I feel like all my characters have at least some through line of like that's me. I can't take that out. I'm sorry. I'm here.
Do you feel like you could fix him, Moss?
No, but
I don't want to.
I don't want to.
No, Cass is fucking.
I could make it worse.
I can make it worse. Thank you, Moss.
Cass
That's
is
so nice.
so funny, and honest to God, I would want an entire like 30 minutes of just Cass being a farmer's son.
Yeah, where did that come from? Did I miss something?
What? Oh, what do you mean?
Because the Pavels are like their whole thing is like leather and livestock.
Oh,
Yeah, the whole
okay.
thing is animals.
That's
yeah.
why.
So I'll
Yeah.
actually just tell you right now, because I'm looking at the map. The Pavels deal in like cows and pigs and chickens and leather, like anything to do with like living, like you know, livestock. The
Animal husbandry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Dubois deal with wood and stone and silk, like raw materials. The LaCroix deal in fruit and sugar and like champagne. The Renoirs are farmers in the sense of like wheat and grain and olive oil and vegetables and things like that. And the Bassettes focus on magical items. With the entrees, with the king and queen entree, them being the noble house responsible for wine. So it's all broken down into like different. And so I love the idea of like, and it kind of speaks to Kate's amazing like narrative design of the LaCroix being all about like sweetness and dessert and like the pleasures of life, and they just have all the fucking kids in the world. I just find that so funny.
Also, I don't know if Drew, if you mentioned it or if anyone noticed from the picture of Poir, but it is not an accident that his ears are pointy.
I was gonna fucking say. I was gonna be like, yo, this bitch is different.
Nah, that's all I'll say.
I
This
asked.
wasn't an accident. It was done on
Look,
purpose.
Darby, I asked for that insight check and you got a 2. I wasn't exactly gonna give you that.
Listen, I will say, I said it in the chat, I'll say it again. Darbs, you may have been rolling low for a lot of this game. All your roleplay was nat 20s.
Was
all of it.
beautiful.
Thank you.
So
my
great.
goodness.
You do a bastard so well.
You do him so well that I'm like, I want to talk to him. I want him to be real.
And like I will say,
Wow,
it's
hear him out.
it's both like a DM skill and it's that back and forth kind of like repertoire that needs to be built of like if you roll like ass for the whole game and you're still laughing and having a great time, everyone involved is doing their job. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my god. And also, last but not least, fucking Kate and Cherie, the wonderful interactions, her and Palm, her being the one to like take, I think it's so interesting because this is the first character I think where like you've played who is like a person within a structure of power and you're high up in that structure and like you just use that like authority so well. It's like little touches that you have. I just love it.
The way she interacts with the guards versus the way she interacts with the LaCroix, and then the way she interacts with Palm, and then us, it's also fucking nuanced, and it's so good, and I'm so excited to play this game with you guys.
Allatour fucks.
We're making
In more ways than one.
funny art. That's what we're
yeah.
making.
Do you know how many shorts we're gonna make off of this? I also just love
Moss, we gotta be serious. You need to flirt with me.
No, for real, that was so fucking well. And like, just to be clear, Moss and I have known each other for so long. That is very clear. Like, just not trying to be weird about it. It's just so funny. Like, just the weeping of tears.
I got you, bro.
Where it's like, because let's be honest, like, the amount that we play this fucking game, because, like, you know, with, like, Sherry and Palm, if we both were gonna be good at it, it would be very easy to get through, but because I need to be so bad at it is 100 times funnier.
I broke when you just, like, had him being like, so, are you hot? Like,
I couldn't
both
fucking...
me and Hawthorne were like, oh.
Can Khan be a DMPC who just follows you guys around? It's like, oh, I think Hawthorne are right with you, Khan.
Is Khan Ringo?
No, Khan is not Ringo. How would that even make
Khan's gonna get himself killed if he follows us.
Ringo would have gotten himself killed if he followed us.
But also, that was so fucking funny. Just the idea of, like, I can fit 100 people in my carriage. It's just, like, so big. It's just the fucking... Jesus.
He, like, got on the carriage, was like...
It was like, it's me!
Remember from
It's
this
the guy
morning?
who you saw naked! Just like...
I still have all the hickeys you left on me.
I had to see a doctor. I think they're burn marks.
From your mouth.
Oh, but with that, tune in next time for the castle.
And
Oh yeah, what's up?
thank you so much for sitting at the table with us and playing with us,
Yes,
friends.
of course. If anybody that's watching this, we deeply appreciate you, and we hope that you're having a great time along with us. We hope you're laughing along, and we can't wait to see you next time. Next time is going to be the capital city of Jumelage. It's going to be Castle Untitled. It's going to be the beginning of the Harvest Day Festival, and then whatever dastardly deeds are going to be done at the Harvest Day Festival, we are going to see. But then we're going to have that next time. Much love, everybody. Everyone have a wonderful night. Peace out.
Good night.
Goodbye, friends.